Welcome to Ask DLF. I was supposed to play the intro video. I'm not going to. It advertises a show that has completely different people from who are here right now. So, yeah, I'm not going to play that. As you can see, Addison is not here. Cal is not here. You may or may not recognize some of my current co-hosts from my own channel. But since I'm sure, some of you may or may not know them. So we'll go around and introduce everyone. We all know me, of course, I'm always here, but the rest of the crew, let's go clockwise. So starting with Josh.
All right, that's me. All right,
That's you,
I
did call on
Josh. No, good call. Good call.
On you playing popcorn?
No, I'm Josh. You can follow me on Twitter at Josh Fuster. Currently producing content for the 33rd team. Mostly just quick hitting 5-minute videos. You can find them on my Twitter. We have fun. I love streaming with these guys and Addison Cal. Miss you guys.
Yeah.
Please bring up J.K. Dobbins for him. Someone
J.K. Dobbins, let's go.
Yes.
No.
Don't you worry.
No.
He'll be back.
no.
He'll
Grab
back.
the jersey. I've already done it 1 minute.
Why'd you do
Get
it?
back here.
No, he's gone. He's gone to get that jersey.
I think it's in the hamper. I was
no
just wearing it this
jerseys
weekend.
Oh no, it's in the hamper.
Gotta get it cleaned.
Damn, Josh.
But I'm Ryan. You can find me at RyanPros_FF. I publish random content when I feel like it, and I'm always on Tyler's show on Mondays with Josh, and sometimes Hutch when he get off from
Decides to
school.
show up.
We still have to talk to your principal, Hutch.
Yeah. You want me to go?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm Hutch.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm Hutchinson Brown, and I'm at HutchinsonB_FF on Twitter, and I'm a 16-year-old trying to make his space in the fantasy football world. So if you follow me on Twitter at HutchinsonB_FF, you can find pretty much everything I do from there. I host my own podcast. I got a couple of jobs, one with DLF as a writer, one with Football Guys. I do have a TikTok account as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. So, this is funny. So yeah, for today, I suppose I will be playing the role of Cal. Addison will be back soon. Next week, he's getting his computer fixed. But yeah, no, there will be. I will continue to be here, and we're gonna have a bright future. Even if the future doesn't look exactly like the past, we will have a bright future on Ask DLF. So let's all get excited for that.
Woo! Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm trying, guys. Look, I'm trying.
He's bringing the heat.
It's a cold, rainy day here in Maryland. I'm trying.
Rainy here too in New York.
Bring up
We
the
got
heat.
snow in PA, dude. Glad
There was like some parts of Maryland that got snowed today, so I believe it.
All right, so Cooper Kupp. We could talk about Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
I guess is kind of the bad news.
Yeah, he's
he's
on
out
officially
for 4
on
weeks.
IR.
He's on IR. Yeah, he's out for 4 weeks.
Yep, at least 4 weeks.
What do you do if you have Cooper Kupp? If you can't get a player, are you accepting a single 23 first or holding? What would you do?
Right now, it's probably not the
23
time
first
to
is so
trade him.
tough.
Yeah.
Single 23 first is really, really tough because, assuming it's a mid first, in a super flex league, oh man, that's really tough. That's really, really difficult. I think that's honestly, if I saw that trade done in a league, I think that would be a pretty fair trade, honestly. I don't know if I could necessarily really favor one side there. If I saw that trade done, I'd be like, oh, that's a pretty fair trade. I think those values are pretty similar at this point.
Yeah, that age 30 stigma is coming for Cooper Kupp. Next year he turns 30. You know what happens with
next year he turns 30. And Matthew Stafford I don't know if he's gonna we don't know if he's gonna get any better. This offensive line has looked bad. This offense is just on the downtrend right now, and they have no picks next year. They're not gonna be able to build anything. Cooper Kupp might be a good player to sell in the next few weeks.
Depends on what you can get, right?
This past off.
Yeah, obviously depends on what you can get, but I think this value here with the mid first in a super flex league assuming it's a Superflex league in a Dynasty format, I think that's a pretty solid move.
I think
right,
the
so-
evaluation makes sense,
Yeah.
I'm in this situation. I have
Ooh,
Cooper
wow.
Kupp. I'm on a contender. I have the possibility of making this trade, so I'm considering it.
10-team Superflex, start 10 PPR. Give Pittman, Montgomery, Nico Collins, get Kupp, and Khalil Herbert. Well, Khalil Herbert has been placed in IR.
Yes.
And he's going to be out for the next few weeks. So that's really funny that Montgomery's also part of his trade, because Montgomery now sees a big opportunity to get that full workload again, like he did in years past.
Showcase,
But then-
right? I mean, it's a showcase for free agency.
Yeah, it's a showcase for 2023 free agency. So, man, I mean, so you're giving Pittman, Montgomery, Nico Collins, you're getting Kupp and Herbert. I mean, if you're in like a rebuild kind of team this year where you're not looking to compete this year, I don't mind the Kupp Herbert side, but without context, I'm looking at the Pittman, Montgomery, Nico Collins side here.
I get behind that. I don't like trading for 2 hurt players, like whenever.
Yeah, trading for
Let's
2
start
hurt
10.
players when you're giving up players that can really help you compete now or even in the future as well, like that's just that's tough. That's a tough thing to do.
It's really tough. But David Montgomery could be gone. That situation could flip flop next year.
Yeah, and then look at
So,
if Montgomery's gone, Khalil Herbert is going to be like everyone's favorite player on the planet. He's going to be like a top 5 round pick in fantasy football drafts. Well, you're talking redraft, but like he's going to be a guy that everyone loves if Montgomery goes and they don't add someone big time in the draft. Like he's going to be a massive asset.
and
So
even if they do
that
add
could-
someone, you're gonna have a sell window.
I would bet
Between
they add
draft
someone.
agency,
Yes, I would bet that they add someone that you would want to sell him at that point. But yeah, straight up here with this trade, I would want the Pittman, Montgomery, Nico Collins side very slightly. But if you're in like a full rebuild, not looking to win this year, Kupp and Herbert could be. I don't hate that trade.
Well, I mean, it's hard if you have Kupp and Herbert and you're trying to win this year. You're not going to get anything out of those
Yeah,
players.
you're not going to get anywhere. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there's no guarantee either one comes back.
no.
Also, we're going to have to move through questions a lot faster than we do on our show. Because we have a
We'll be
lot.
here till midnight at this rate.
No, we won't.
Yeah, we'll be here in a minute.
Not
Let's keep
today.
going. Let's go.
Not
If-
with how I'm feeling.
If we were going at that pace.
Yeah, no, I will tell the people I have been not feeling well today. I've been feeling kind of dizzy, and I'm the only one who can control the questions. So the show is unfortunately going to go as long as I last. So hopefully
All
that's
right,
a
let's
long
give them the
time.
best advice in the quickest amount of time. We
Yeah,
can do this,
hopefully
guys. We
that's
can
a
do
long
this.
time, but I think this will probably be one of our shortest shows of the year.
Looking at this.
So get your questions in early. Get your questions in
let's go to
early.
this
Don't
trade.
wait. Let's do
go to
the
this
trade. Yeah. So from Mitchell, Rondale Moore for 23 second and Josh Palmer. What do we think about that one?
I'm looking at Rondale Moore here. Honestly, I'm looking at Rondale Moore. He's the last 3 weeks he's finished as top 20 receiver in each week, and now Zach Ertz is gone. And Zach Ertz, obviously, when you look at him, he is kind of hitting that age cliff. Like he is just not that guy anymore. And after this series of injury, what?
Yeah, he's 32 and he's out for the season. Like,
Yeah.
he kind of
he's
hitting
out
the
for the-
age cliff. He was hitting the age cliff 2 years ago.
He's kind of hit that age cliff where it's just like he's not that guy anymore. And after this injury, I don't see him being a huge impact on this team anymore. And that leaves Marquise Brown and DeAndre Hopkins, who DeAndre Hopkins is like 30. Like he is not going to be alive. He's not going to be that guy
He's
for
not
too
gonna
much
be
longer
alive
either.
for too much longer.
No, alive. Well, I mean, alive for fantasy football.
Yeah,
Josh,
no,
there's
no.
something wrong with.
I'm 30 years old.
No,
guys.
I was
I
gonna
thought you were 30 years old.
Yeah, he's not going to be alive for fantasy football versus for much longer. So
Would
Rondale
they-
Moore, I mean,
Would this
If
be
the
a good time
opportunity-
after that very interesting statement to announce that you might be getting more of Hutch on the show in the future? Like that's your
Yeah.
that's the time to put in that promotion, right? Right after
Yeah.
that. Total gap.
Right after
But,
Josh
like,
hits
what-
his age cliff.
Yeah,
after
Hutch,
Josh
well, what
is
about-
the age cliff to 30. Yeah, that age
I
cliff.
still feel
Only
young, guys. I
decline
still feel
from
young.
there, Josh.
I don't.
No,
I'll tell you.
We're
I don't
Jeremy
feel
tires.
young.
You're good, Josh. You're good.
All right, listen. I
Back
think
to this
the
trade, I
values
think-
on the second side, personally. For
Interesting.
Me.
Yeah, I'm.
I think the
I just don't
value, the
believe-
overall value.
I just don't believe that they're ever going to give Joshua Palmer the opportunity to be that like number 2 or number 1 wide receiver on the team. I just don't think that's ever going to be an opportunity for him. But with Rondale Moore, I really believe that's going to be there at one point. I really believe that's going to be there, and he's shown out in those.
The number 1 wide receiver on the team.
Number
I
1,
doubt
no.
they-
Number 2,
no one.
I think number 2 though.
I think
I don't
it's
think
well
they'll do
within
that
the
with
realm of
Joshua
possibility for Joshua
I don't-
Palmer to be
I don't
that
think
guy.
they'll give that to Joshua Palmer.
I think he's looked good in the opportunity he's been given, and then you
Yeah,
get 23
but so did
second on
DeAndre
top.
Carter. DeAndre Carter's
No,
looked good.
DeAndre
Gerald
Carter's
Everett looked good in opportunities.
he's like he's about to die like DeAndre Hopkins.
He's
So,
29.
Don't
yeah.
worry about
He is 29,
don't worry
but
about DeAndre Carter.
But you got Gerald Everett there as well.
DeAndre
Like, you
Carter
have
is
him
that
on the
old?
he's a lot
Yeah, he's
older than
old.
I
He's
thought.
a veteran
yeah.
in the NFL.
Oh, I
He
didn't
was,
know that. I thought
yeah, he's
I
a
didn't think he
veteran.
was young, but I thought he was more middle aged. Isn't it great? We talk
He
about
got moved.
29
he
is
got moved around a
old,
lot of
27
practice.
is middle aged, 25 is young.
Yeah.
You know, that's
But Hutch,
that's
to your
where we
point,
are.
I'm fine getting Rondale Moore in this trade, but I do think the overall value is on the second and Josh Palmer side. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, the
I am a
second-
Rondale Moore fan. So
if we're looking at an early second, like if we're looking at like the one, like we're looking at like the 11th or 12th pick maybe in the draft in a super flex league, that would make it a lot tougher for me. Because obviously, look, Joshua Palmer, in opportunities this year where Mike Williams or Keenan Allen or both are hurt, he's shown out. He's shown that
there's
he
only
can
one question
be a
that
good
matters.
player.
There's only one question that matters.
and what's that?
Josh,
Yeah.
what if you could have Rondale Moore,
Mhm.
but you had to give up J.K. Dobbins to get him?
Oh.
What about that one? You had to give up J.K. Dobbins to get Rondale
I
Moore.
love how
So we
say
asked
we're
the
moving
hard
through the
hitting questions
quickly,
on
and
this
now
show.
we're just asking Josh random questions. about
Yeah.
J.K.
I
Dobbins.
know. But like, wait,
is
we're
funny.
valuing Rondale Moore with this question, right? So
Maybe I should be in the host chair
I think
more often.
Rondale Moore has more dynasty value than J.K. Dobbins. I
see?
would not trade J.K. Dobbins for Rondale Moore, though.
Oh, so now it's on the record. So now, you know, you can't claim to be a J.K. Dobbins diehard fan because we just have that. Now it's recorded. A lot of people just saw it.
I want to give good
over
advice
1,000
here. I
people
want to
watch
give
this
good
show
advice
every
here,
week.
Tyler. I want to give good advice here, Tyler, and that's what I'm doing. I'm telling you what I would personally do. No, I would not do that.
We see what happens when I'm left in charge instead of
It gets
Cal.
wild.
But you know, that's okay. I will say maybe we have to. No, Addison will be in charge. But anyway, in a 1 QB 12-man league, or well, maybe it's all men in that league, but we should have more women playing fantasy football. That's something I think is important. And you know, since I'm talking, we'll talk about it. I do think it's important. I think that we still, as a fantasy football community, do a poor job of reaching out to women, both as content creators and just regular managers in leagues. And I think that it's something that, you know, we should always consider and focus on. And I've tried to, you know, do what I can, especially with the ones that women I've actually interacted with on Twitter, you know, doing the best to try to promote them and make sure that they get eyes on their work. Because I know it can be an uphill climb. Even in 2022, it's still, we're a long way from where we want to be. Yeah, that was random. Some speech from Tyler. Again, with me in control, you'll get a lot more of those, unfortunately. Or fortunately, if you enjoy them. But to answer the question from Nathan, and I think this is a good question. And we're going to go around to get everyone's opinion on it. Because we saw on the Sunday night game, we did see that Elijah Mitchell had more carries than CMC in that game. He had more carries, and it was not, I think, what we expected. I think we expected Elijah Mitchell to come in and spell CMC, but
this
not
was
at
his
the
first
level.
game back too, right? This was Mitchell's
Yeah,
first
but
game.
that's and that actually makes it worse.
That makes it a lot worse.
That makes it
They
worse.
were patient with getting him back, though.
Yeah, and I talked about this on yesterday's show. That when someone comes back in Kyle, you don't come back in Kyle Shanahan's offense unless you're ready. You don't come back if you're 70%. If you're 70%, you don't play. You only play in Kyle Shanahan's offense if you're ready to assume the role that you had before. So since Elijah Mitchell was playing, I ranked him in the mid 30s, mid to low 30s. I didn't expect this. This week, I have him even higher. I've already done my start sit rankings for this week. I have him think a little bit higher than consensus. You have him at 28, which still feels a little low. But
Elijah
it
Mitchell,
is.
that is.
Yes, Elijah Mitchell, 28, RB 28 this week. I have Christian McCaffrey at 5.
Sounds about right.
But what would you be going after if you were looking to sell him? I mean, it is kind of, you had your opportunity to sell him.
Yeah, this is
after that 3 touchdown.
The thing is his value.
Game.
Yeah, his value's been crushed.
Yeah,
this past week his value's been absolutely crushed, and it's going to be
how
really
crushed
tough
though. How crushed? How much do you think he lost? Because I think
people are really scared.
I hear you, but I think Deebo Samuel lost more value than Christian
Deebo
McCaffrey.
Samuel did lose a lot of value.
Deebo Samuel
I feel like that's very underappreciated.
I think Deebo Samuel is a 5-alarm fire. A 5-alarm fire. 10 out of 10. Panic. Panic is 10 out of 10.
I saw him traded
maximum.
for a first-round pick in a league.
I would take the first-round pick.
I would take the first in that league. I would take the first.
It's time for a 10 out of 10. Christian McCaffrey, I think my panic meter is at a 6. Like, he's going to be good, but it's not going to be a league winner.
He's going to get the receptions. We saw 6 targets for him last week. He's going to get those receptions, especially with Jimmy G as mobile as a tree. Like, when he gets pressured, he's going to throw to Christian McCaffrey. Like,
now, I will say trees do grow, Hutch. They do grow. They move. So the trees are not that.
How old is Jimmy?
They don't run around.
He's like dead.
He's like 32
now.
The
trees in the ground, it stuck. Tyler, that was my point.
Now,
I don't think
depends on the movie that you're watching and how high you are while you're watching that.
Trees don't walk. It's not rocket science.
I will say I've seen them walk before, but this is a minor detail.
This is the weirdest detour.
It's okay. It's fine. I'm tired. It is what it is. I'm wearing a shirt with a taxi cab on it. You know, this is where we are.
It was like
in 2022.
a Van Gogh painting or something.
I would really love one of those. I'd love to buy one of those. But I think it's out of my price range. Maybe if there's enough super chats on the show, if there's enough super chats and enough people signing up for my Patreon, I'll be able to afford a new Van Gogh painting. And that would really make me happy.
Yeah, definitely.
Throw that on a t-shirt.
Now, but what for CMC?
Yeah.
I'll get myself back on track.
Yeah.
How are you going to sell him? What would you sell him for? That's the question.
So here's the thing.
Sell him.
I just looked up a random, I just looked up a Dynasty trade calculator, right? Like just a, simple trade calculator.
No one to look at the DLF trade finder for me.
Oh yeah, shoot. Sorry, I should look at that instead.
That's usually Addison or Cal's job.
Yes, I looked up a random.
I never closed the window during the show.
The first 5 names that come up when I typed in Christian McCaffrey, these are the first 5 names that come up to make it even. The non-super flex. It's Patrick Mahomes, Stephon Diggs, a 2023 early first, CeeDee Lamb, and Mark Andrews. I'd rather have all 5 of those players in Dynasty than Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that doesn't. I mean, in one QB, I'd rather have Christian McCaffrey over Patrick Mahomes. If that's what's being asked.
That's so close.
Yeah.
That's so close for me. That's the closest one.
Close. Yeah.
That's the closest one, but I think I'd still just slightly favor Mahomes.
I think in most leagues, Christian McCaffrey is going to be valued a little bit higher than Patrick Mahomes. Most.
In one QB, yeah.
Yeah, one QB, obviously.
One QB, yes. Superflex Mahomes is one of the kings. But because I mean, the 2023 early first, you're looking at one of those stud running backs, possibly Bijan Robinson. Like, that's an automatic pick, Bijan Robinson, or one of those stud running backs. Like, you got to pick one of those guys. And Stephon Diggs, a stud wide receiver, has got a couple of years left. I'd definitely take him. CeeDee Lamb, a rising young stud wide receiver, absolutely. Mark Andrews, the advantage at tight end. Like, that's easy. Like, I would take all those guys. If you can get any of those players for Christian McCaffrey, I would absolutely do that in a 1-quarterback league.
Yeah.
You think you go
any
1
top
for 1
12
for Brees
receiver?
Hall?
What's up?
1 for 1 for Brees Hall. Think you can do it?
In a rebuild,
in a Brees Hall? Well, if you're competing this year, then that's a dumb
Depends on
move.
the
But
situation.
if you're competing this year, I
Rebuild.
can't do that. But if you're in a rebuild, yeah, go for it. That's a good move.
Like any of the top 8 young running backs, I would love to get any top 12 wide receiver.
Yep, that makes sense. Top couple quarterbacks.
I don't. Maybe in the right situation, depending on your team.
Top couple quarterbacks. Yeah.
But that's kind of what you're looking at.
I'm satisfied. Okay, well, I'm less satisfied with this one. Yeah, sorry. Gave Godwin, got Elijah Moore in a 23 late second, wanted a first. This was the best offer I got. Not thrilled, but seems fair. Yeah, this is really bad. I'm sorry.
Rebuilding. Yeah. It makes it a little bit better that you're rebuilding, but I'm a big Chris Godwin fan.
I'm
on the Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I love Chris Godwin. I love
Addison's
Elijah
not
Moore
even
too.
here.
Elijah Moore is one of my guys this past year. I was all in on him, and unfortunately, he is not yet. That was a big mess up for me.
Too.
But I still think he's a talented wide receiver. I still believe that Elijah Moore is a talented wide receiver. I still believe that if he was given the opportunity, he was talented.
Yeah.
I still believe if he was given the opportunity, he would make plays. We saw it in his rookie year. We saw it. But yeah, late 23 second, Elijah Moore for Chris Godwin. That's tough. I would definitely take Godwin though, even if it's a rebuilding.
Yeah, Elijah Moore was playing this look a lot nicer, but sadly he's not. Thanks, Robert.
Oh, he is playing. To be fair, he is playing.
He's playing, but not.
He's not really playing.
This week is going to be very telling for Elijah Moore. He's moving to the slot. I really want to see what happens.
That is interesting too. Yes, he's moving to the slot. Hopefully, getting more opportunities according to Robert Saleh. That's huge. Yeah. This will be a big week.
Yeah. If he's out there on the field a lot, I'm going to be a lot higher on it. I'm going to feel better about having my Elijah Moore.
That was a very interesting comment. And it's also they just had their bye, right? Am I right on that? They just had
they're coming off their bye. Mm-hmm. So this is the time to do it. Yeah, exactly.
To adjust to Elijah Moore to the slot. And that'd be
and a lot of people, most people, I would say, everyone out there coming into the NFL thought Elijah Moore was going to be a primarily slot receiver. So now,
that's what he's made to be. He is not an outside guy. I don't understand why the Jets kept putting him out there. He's not an outside wide receiver.
So maybe it helps him out.
Just remember, Hutch, the walls of this maze hold many mysteries. Just repeat that phrase when you don't know. It sounds really smart. Repeat that phrase when you don't know what's going on. I think the people must be wondering, what is going on? Wrong with Tyler today? No, if you really want to know, I'll tell you. So over the last few days, I've been having nosebleeds, and it's I feel dizzy and lightheaded. So I didn't take anything. I feel really out of it. So I'm trying to power through and do the show for you guys, but that's what's going on. That's why I'm so airheaded and not myself.
Don't let Vecna get you during the show. I had to make a corny Stranger Things joke. I had to.
I was feeling better yesterday. I actually it's funny, the nosebleed held itself off for about 30 minutes after we wrapped up yesterday. It was kind enough to wait until we were done.
Oh, thank you, nosebleed. I hope you feel better, Tyler.
You.
I hope I feel better too. I'm probably going to go to the doctor tomorrow.
It sounds like something that.
Yeah, no. Unless I wake up, and I'm feeling
it's good advice,
100%.
Wow.
I might not follow it myself, but I know it's good advice.
Yeah.
So get yourself.
If I don't wake up, if I don't wake up tomorrow and I'm all better, I'm gonna go.
Because I don't know what to do with this trade because Antonio Gibson's looked so good. Brian Robinson did look good last night when he got his opportunities. I don't know what to do here.
If it was
they went back to Brian Robinson.
A lot better.
It was tight end premium. I'd feel a lot better about Dulcich. But I agree with Josh there. But
in non-tight premium, I think I'm on Brian Robinson's side here.
Because he's you can see it when he plays. He's clearly still not 100% yet. You can see it when he plays. It doesn't look like I don't believe he's 100% yet.
What do you mean he doesn't look like he's 100%? He looks like a plotter. What part of him doesn't look 100%? I think
watching him
boring. I called him Boring Robinson for a reason. Boring. I think he looks exactly 100%. It is 100%.
Watching him in that preseason game where he looked more explosive than he does right now.
He's never. It was a preseason game. He is not an explosive back. He wasn't an explosive back in college.
No, but he
was not an explosive back in college. He was not explosive in the draft process. He's not explosive this year. Honestly, what about this performance didn't look? I mean, this is what you expected. Honestly, I think 26. There was no work in the passing game. He had 26 carries. I think it's nice that he held up to 26 carries, but this is what he is. He's a reliable. Boring. I called him Boring Robinson. I stand by that name. Grinder. He's a grinder. He's fine. If you need 1 yard, he'll get you 2. If you need 5 yards, he'll get you 2. It's what he is.
He'll get you 3 if you need 5. Come on.
He's okay. He's serviceable, but Gibson is more like hit or miss.
Yes.
So
reading the situation real fast, him losing
ahead.
Ertz, him being in second fighting for the bye, I do like Dulcich.
I think Dulcich is great.
I'm reassessing this. I think I would do this trade.
Brian Robinson is worth
Yeah.
it. In Dynasty, Brian
that's
Robinson is
my
worth
original
more. I
Brian
have him
Robinson's
ranked
probably
higher.
worth more.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's worth more. But the problem is with this entire situation, when you read it, sometimes it's worth to overpay a little bit if it works out for you, because it's all about, in the end, getting to that fantasy football
You say
championship.
that, but I will say, at the running back position, you might think you don't have a need now.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
know what
That's a good
happens
point.
at the running back position. Next
We
week,
know.
you could have you. What if you had Breece Hall and Javonte Williams going to the
Breece
season?
Hall,
You thought
Javonte
running back
Williams,
was
yep,
set,
too.
and then in a 2-week period, suddenly it's not. It's not good. It's not set. It's actually a problem. So and then you have random benchings. Leonard Fournette. You had Leonard Fournette. Now actually you might not have Leonard Fournette. He could be benched after the bye, so you actually might not have him. What about DeAndre Swift? You relied on him. You can't rely on him. I mean, DeAndre, not Swift is what I would say. He's very slow. He's not so swift.
Hey, he'll get that touchdown now. He'll get you that touchdown.
He'll get you the touchdown, and his 6 carries for 6 yards is where he played so well. He looked great and explosive on those 6 carries. And Dan Campbell gave him fewer.
Bad memories.
Yeah.
Bad memories of what?
Kerryon Johnson.
He
Another
could be
high
the next
draft
Kerryon
line.
Johnson,
He was a second round pick himself, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he
They
was.
drafted a lot of running backs high.
Yeah, they do. And they miss one, a lot of them too.
They really did.
DeAndre Swift, they didn't miss one, guys.
No, I'm
They
still,
did.
I'm still in, but
He missed on them.
getting flashbacks.
He's talented. DeAndre Swift is talented.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It's not a Swift question.
We'll get to one. Don't worry.
I'm sure we will.
Well, I don't see the question, so
He
Oh,
said,
here it is.
Thank
low,
you.
yeah. PPR redraft. Give Devontae Adams from it. Ooh.
Keep
Wow.
redraft.
Wow.
It's a good question.
That's so
It's a good question because if you need it, if you need the depth, if you don't have a running back, it's not bad. You're getting Olave has been a low end 1, high end 2, and Stevenson is a borderline RB1 as well. I mean, it's not bad. Devontae Adams is not a league winner. He's not Justin Jefferson. He's not what Cooper Kupp was. What Tyreek Hill has been, Stephon Diggs. He's not that. He's the next group. He's like a mid wide receiver 1, someone who's solid.
He is, yeah. He's not that guy.
He's good, but he's not going to win it all by him. You're not going to win on the back of Devontae Adams alone.
Especially with the way Derek Carr's played this year. He's honestly
Derek Carr
been a
has
very
played, like,
disappointing.
Awful.
Honestly,
He's played
Derek Carr has
awful
been
this
just
year.
fine. The problem is Josh incompetent. That's the problem. The problem is
Josh McDaniels.
It's been bad.
Let's calm down. Let's not besmirch to the Josh name. All right.
Well,
he has not been very. Yeah, it has not been a very good year.
I just
for him
couldn't
this
come
year.
up with a good McDaniels pun on the fly. I'm sorry.
McDummy.
Josh McDummy.
Anyway, if you're starting Ramondre Stevenson and Chris Olave every week, for sure, I like this trade.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah,
I think it's fine.
I think
it's just fine.
I think the value
This one
is
is
fine.
better.
Yeah.
This one is better. I like this one better. Actually.
I agree.
Because DeAndre Hopkins, I think, is not that different from
Yeah,
Devontae.
Diop has been. Diop is like.
Yeah.
Diop has been right there with Devontae Adams, and you look at like the last 5 weeks, he's been unbelievable.
Yes, Hollywood Brown is going to come back, but I'm less
Yeah, Zach Ertz is
panicky
gone.
with Zach Ertz out than I would have been.
Yeah, Zach Ertz is
Still
gone.
a little worried, but not as much as I would have been if Ertz was also in.
The thing is, I think since DeAndre Hopkins has come back since that week, when you look at those few weeks, he's led the NFL in targets. Like that week span, like he's been.
That's big news.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. Like he's been getting tons and tons of volume.
Those are
which is what
big
we really wanted to
facts
see.
that you're bringing to the show.
I can't tell he's being super sarcastic or not.
I think he's being serious. I think he's being serious.
He is.
I can't tell if he's super sarcastic or not. Well, we saw DeAndre Hopkins the year before not
He used
get
to have
the
an amateur
same
poker
volume.
career, Hutch. So
we saw DeAndre Hopkins the year prior not get that same volume, which is why he was frustrating for fantasy. He was very touchdown dependent, This year, it has clearly changed since he's gotten back. With Marquise Brown back in the mix, that might change things. Because Marquise Brown, when he was on the field, he could, I believe, did he have a game with 16 targets at one point? He had some huge games where it stole volume. If DeAndre Hopkins goes back to that where he was last year, a bit touchdown dependent, that could be very, very frustrating. And James Conner, I know Eno Benjamin just got cut, but James Conner's been a frustrating fantasy.
Now he's signed with the Texans.
Now he's signed with the Texans. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah,
but so
now Addison has a new excuse about Dameon Pierce. Now he can blame it on Benjamin being bad when Dameon Pierce continues to dominate.
So Hutch, you prefer Stevenson Olave over D-Hop and James Conner?
I think I don't think
it's crazy.
Well, James Conner played 96% of the snaps this week.
Yeah,
James Conner's their guy. If
those
he stays healthy,
those are
he's
important facts that we have.
Yeah, he's their guy. Yeah, James Conner with Eno Benjamin.
As long as he stays healthy, and that.
With James Conner, that's always kind of a roller coaster.
Yeah, we don't know.
I know.
Yeah, we don't know that.
I would definitely rather have Ramondre Stevenson over James Conner, and I would rather have definitely rather have DeAndre Hopkins over Chris Olave. And they're pretty similar in gaps, I would say. So I feel pretty similar about both these trades, actually.
Yeah, I feel pretty similar about both these trades, but the fact that you're getting the stronger wide receiver,
yeah.
And I feel like if you're gonna compare who's the best player of those four players, Ramondre Stevenson, Chris Olave, D-Hop, or James Conner, I would pick D-Hop.
Yeah. Well, for fantasy, you could make an argument for Ramondre Stevenson.
You could make an argument because he's a running back. The running back position is fragile.
But I'm with you though. I'm with you.
I think DeAndre Hopkins is the best player of those four. So I feel slightly better about this trade than I do with the Stevenson Olave one. But I think it's still a solid trade, not anything ridiculous.
I agree with something.
He agrees.
Yeah. All right. Now this is just the comment. Thank you, Ed, for your comment.
Thanks, Ed. You're the man.
So I want to give you guys props for training me. Okay. My mind went to interesting things about that, but okay. Pretty confident on what you would say now. I like to ask for confirmation versus approval. Hey, love your show. It's my fave. Well, thank you for that part. I always say ask first, because if you make a trade I don't like and it's bad and you ask it on the show, then I'll rip you. But I guess there is always the saying, I guess, do as I say, not as I do. Because I'm always very much an ask for forgiveness, not permission person. I just, I'm the kind of, I launched my YouTube channel just one day when I felt like it because somebody made me angry. So, but just so you know, that's why we have a YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, because someone pissed me off. And I was like, well, I can do this. So I did it. And that was the original purpose of me launching my YouTube channel. So that's why we have show together.
Love that.
But yeah. Thanks, Ed. Some good thoughts there. Yeah, Ed has a lot of good thoughts. He does spend a lot of time with me, which may contribute to why. But I've noticed lately that he is really coming into his own as a dynasty manager. So I must be doing something right.
Oh boy.
Yeah. How likely is it?
Loaded question.
Yeah, I loved it when we had 2022 and 2021 because nobody said 2022 was better than 2021.
Yeah, nobody said that.
Yeah, nobody ever said that.
Nobody said that. Yeah.
I think some people would have been like, I don't know, the wide receivers are pretty good. As a group, it's a lot deeper, But that's it. I think it's bigger to get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out here and make a bold claim. And I want to say somewhere in the 70 to 80 percentile range on this comment.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
I feel like the quarterback class is stronger. The running back class outside of Bijan, you can make an argument, but the wide receivers. Do you see Marvin Harrison's catch this past weekend?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was
ridiculous. He's gonna be part of the wide receiver class. Brock Bowers out of Georgia. I feel like there's a strong case here.
I agree. I agree. I don't know if I'd go 70-80, but I think there's definitely a chance that is true.
If the quarterbacks play up, I feel like we're there.
You're gonna be hearing it. There's 100% chance you will hear it.
You're gonna be hearing it from somebody.
Yeah. I still lean 2023 for myself.
We'll see when the dust is
As of
settled
right
on the
now.
draft capital.
But you don't know when you see 2024.
Listen up. No one's gonna remember.
When we get to 2024,
We'll be
you have
good.
no idea. Yeah.
Bijan, who? It's Braylon Allen season. That's what it's gonna be.
Well,
Trusted Christian Kirk.
Thomas trusted me. Well, that's
Wow.
good.
Trusted
Wow.
you.
Got
and
Christian Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is that I'm rebuilding. Christian
Kirk
Kirk
for a
for
late first.
112.
Well, it's the late first / 112. Like,
should I jump on that? I would take it.
or is it a
I
super
think-
flex?
I don't think it
Assuming it's
matters. It doesn't matter.
Really?
I would take it anyway because I think that when you're doing the rookie, if you're rebuilding, you don't care about this year. When you're doing the rookie draft, on the moment that 112 is being picked, it's going to be worth more than Christian Kirk. So I would do it for that reason. It's a pretty clear decision for me.
And also, like, do we think that Jacksonville potentially in the draft or in free agency will add wide receiver depth?
It's a
Because
risk.
right now, outside of Christian Kirk, it's been a mess. I mean,
I
Marvin
like Calvin
Jones,
Ridley. They have
Zay
Calvin
Jones,
Ridley.
Really, yeah.
They have Calvin Ridley, who what do we think he's going to do anything anymore?
I know Tyler's not the biggest fan, but
I never said that.
I mean, because Calvin Ridley
This is
before
fake. This
you
is
know,
fake news, Josh.
we were
This is
talking
fake-
about it yesterday,
No,
and you
no,
After
we
his,
the
like-
tape. We can roll the tape. I didn't say that. I said that.
Calvin
you
Ridley
know,
2 years ago
I
was my
think
wide
that there are
receiver one
some
overall.
people who say that Calvin Ridley is
Here we
completely
go.
irrelevant. I mean, if we look at where I have him ranked in Dynasty versus the ADP, I actually have him ranked higher than the ADP. So I don't know. That's not really.
you're just saying a lot of negative things about him
Well,
yesterday.
I think to say that he's going to come in and be better than Christian Kirk is a little ridiculous when Christian Kirk has been
That is
better over the
no, that
last
is
2
not fair to
years
say.
than
No idea.
Calvin Ridley has done anything. But I think that Calvin Ridley will come in and be ahead of Zay Jones if that's what like, and he'll be the number 2 weapon of what they have. Now they could add someone else and ahead of them, and then it's not so relevant. But I think he'll come in and he could do what Zay Jones is doing this year a little bit better. I mean,
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
I don't think he's
Calvin Ridley-
worthless.
no, he's not. Calvin Ridley 2 years ago was my wide receiver 1 overall. Like
So
heading into
you
that
are?
year,
That was a mistake.
I
was
said you
all
weren't a
in
big
on Calvin
fan,
Ridley.
Tyler.
I just want the people should know that we have to we can roll the tape.
No, you're right. You never said you were not a big fan. I put those words in my own mouth.
I'm just being difficult, but I do actually have him ranked higher than he is in November's ADP. So I'm not totally.
I'm trying to
out on
remember
him.
what you said. It was like, when's the last time we saw Calvin Ridley be good? Or,
Well, it was
it's like,
2020.
yeah.
I mean, he wasn't
Yeah.
actually good.
And
That's
he
something
wasn't-
I want
yeah.
the people, there are some people who say that he's just going to come in and be a wide receiver 1 again. And he was not a wide receiver 1 at all in 2021. He was actually horrible. So in order to believe that he's good, you kind of have to just chalk that up as an off year and say that,
Wasn't he like the
Sorry
leader
for
in
coming at you, bro.
unrealized points per game or
fine.
something like that? Didn't he have like the most
all love.
expected points per game over like what he actually scored last year before he got suspended or sat out or whatever it was?
What do you
it was
mean?
for now, but didn't he have like the most? It was expected fantasy points over actual fantasy points.
Yes, that means he sucks, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out.
That means he was
stats
terrible,
here,
just
okay?
like what I said. That means an average player would have scored a lot more points, and he did a poor job, so he didn't score very many. That's
Yep.
what that says.
I
right?
thought I was helping
Exactly.
myself. I guess I was just throwing myself.
So you
into it.
actually,
let's
wasn't
move on.
actually
Let's move on.
Yeah, the
Not
first.
that
The-
tired,
the
Ryan.
first
I'm not
is
gonna let
worth
that
more.
one
In a
slip by me.
rebuild, I like the first.
All right. That's the way to do it. I think somebody asked for tips and advice and gave the answer, but they don't learn the process. I think anyone serious about fantasy needs to learn a process. And
The
I did,
process is
so
more
I did
important than
ask
anything.
in my Patreon, I asked, how am I doing? Literally, because my self-assessment is garbage. I always think I'm doing great. I'm one of those people. We always talk about imposter syndrome. I'm the opposite of that. I always think everything I do is great. I always think every show is really.
Yeah, I'm really the exact opposite. I think
and
I
we've
do
talked
awful
about
at this.
that. We've talked about that.
I think I'm awful at this. I genuinely do.
But
I think
I
I'm
really
somewhere in the
do.
middle.
Like I always think everything I do is great. All my rankings are great. I think that. I don't really. That's just what I think. I can't trust my own self-assessment, and I know that. Now, are my patrons really going to tell me the truth? Maybe, maybe not. But
Still good.
there was one.
Eric, I see that comment.
Oh,
How bad is this?
No,
bad
he
is
just said, Hutch, what happened to your Eagles, man? 1K always open was indeed not always open. That is correct. He was not. I'll take 8-1 with the 4th overall pick in the NFL draft.
No, the reason there was a point to all of this
I'm cool
that
with
I was eventually gonna get to, even if it was a circuitous path. So one person said Ryan, not sure, different Ryan, obviously. I think he was saying, so he would like me to explain some of my more heuristics-based processes a little bit better and see if I can kind of translate how I do that into something that's like more something other people could copy or take away.
Digestible and you can break it down easier for consumers. Yeah.
I have done a very poor job of that. I'm not like, it doesn't seem to be something I'm very good at telling you the right answer, and sort usually of why, but not why I can tell you the answer and why I pick it, but not why I seem to have a pattern.
Because it happens like that in your mind.
Kinda, yeah. I'm definitely, the heuristics are hard to translate into words. It is difficult. And, it's also something where I definitely thrive on volume over depth. I'm not Peter Howard and never will be. We know what he does. I mean, he analyzes a lot of situations in depth and does a really great job of bringing a lot of statistical analysis to one topic, which he does on Crossroads and other stuff. And I think we all know that isn't me, and it never will be. That's part of why I haven't been writing articles, because I can do it, but I do them slowly, and it's definitely not in my skill set. Even if I'm capable of it, anyone could write the articles I wrote. Anyone at DLF could write them. I don't think they were special. So, I don't think anyone could do this show to the same level that I do. But anyone could write the articles I did. I wasn't able to, just kind of, I just read the stats and all that. Like, anyone could do that. But the process is the kind of thing where, like, I'm trying to explain a little bit better, especially like startups and trades, like why I'm picking a certain side, why I don't like failure, what all those little sayings, like trying to do a little bit better about what all that means. Yeah, but what does that mean? Like, when I say I don't like failure, what does that mean? Like, if I just say it, it's a great catchy line. Like, failure is bad. I mean, failure, we don't like that, right? Failure is bad. But that's great. I mean, that's very, might get me more clicks, but that doesn't really tell you how to avoid failure. That just tells you that you probably are paying attention because the word failure is catchy.
I on Twitter, like, when people, like, usually on a lot of Twitter threads, I see like send your short sick questions, whatever, and people always I see a lot of people answer like 1-word answers. Well, and you look through. Yeah, Tyler, I'm not trying to like shout you out, but you do that, and like other people do that as well. Most of Twitter does that. But if you look through like my thread sometimes that I do, I put like the maximum amount of words that I can put in a tweet in every answer. I'm always explaining, and I answer like every question. I explain every answer as much as I can, explain everything that's going through my head and how you're considering both players on who to start or, in a trade or anything. Like, with my answers, I try to explain as much of my process and much of my thought process as possible so that people can take that in, learn from that, and maybe use that in a different situation. That's usually what I try to do. Because fantasy football, analysts, we're always trying to get the right answers. But at the same time, I think it's more about giving the people processes that they can use in future situations. We want to teach them more about fantasy football, not just give them the answers. So that's why I always try to like explain my process. Like Tyler was kind of saying that earlier, but
that's why I have shows, because if it were just Twitter, no one would ever get an explanation. Because on Twitter, if I give, what I do like about this show is I get to give. I'm not limited on the number of characters. I get to give the explanation, and it's not.
Sometimes I make videos. Sometimes I do threads where I say, send in your start to questions. I'll make a video, and I make a 1 minute and a half video for every single question.
I should do that. I'm not going to do it for every single question, but it's not a bad thing. I should do more short videos. I really like Yeah. It's definitely something I do a lot of long shows. I should do more videos. Short videos. I got to talk to Addison. All right. If you're contending, which player would you rather target to get some help at the running back position? And what will you be giving for him? That is very.
So we're just talking about like there's no other comments. Like it's
Dynasty,
just
it's just vague.
So I think it's just what player would you
like
target?
what player?
Running
Very
back.
vague.
What running back? We talked about it a little bit yesterday.
We did.
Now David Montgomery's appeared.
David Montgomery now.
He's
Montgomery on that
huge.
list.
David Montgomery is
Miles
absolutely-
Sanders
he's a
had
big
a
player.
bad fantasy game.
So
Maybe
you might
can
be
get him
able
on the
to-
team.
Miles Sanders is a good player to target. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to aim a lot cheaper and get some production as a contender, never mind. I'm not even gonna say him.
I thought he was about to
Jeff
say
Wilson?
J.K. Dobbins.
I was gonna say
I think Jeff Wilson's a good one.
Jeff Wilson, I think, is not.
I think
bad.
Jeff Wilson's a good one because we saw him take a big step in that backfield last week. I mean, this past week.
Maybe Deonta Foreman. You might be able to get him.
Yeah, I mean, Deontay Foreman. It looked like 2 weeks ago before the Atlanta game on Thursday Night Football. 2 weeks ago when they got blown up by Carolina, it looked like it was going to be a committee.
Yeah.
Like it looked like it was straight up committee.
And
I was very scared. Like I was very scared of Deontay Foreman against Atlanta. I thought it was going to be straight up committee backfield again. And nope, Deontay Foreman came in and took over once again with 30 carries. I mean, there were 11 touches by other running backs, but it was clearly dominated by Deontay Foreman. I mean, he also he was unstoppable. Like the Atlanta defense could not stop him. He was tearing them to shreds. But yeah, I mean, Deontay Foreman's still the lead back of this backfield. He's the workhorse. It was like what he was in Tennessee when Derrick Henry's hurt. Like he's back to being that guy again. So yeah, I mean, he's a great target for a contender team this year.
And you might be able to get some longer term value out of him. Maybe.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, he's older though. He's been in the league for a while because
he's 26 now, I think.
He tore his Achilles early in his career, and then it's taken him like
which isn't
3 years to really come back.
Yeah, 26 is not young for running.
No. At the
26 for a running back.
Injured running back. Yeah.
It's like you're 30.
James Conner, I'll throw up him too.
No.
I'm just kidding. Oh, James
All right.
Conner. Interesting.
12
you took another 30 shot. I see how it is, Hutch.
Yeah, I did.
How much hair do you have, like, just resting on your forehead? Is it like a pound? Like, so much hair right there,
man.
man.
Get a haircut. I do. It's getting longer, but yes, it is.
No, it looks cool. I like it.
Thank you. But yeah, it is. I do have to get a haircut. Damn, you really got me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot.
12-team Superflex looking to make a push for a championship. Which player is the better player to acquire? Jonathan Taylor or Saquon Barkley? Possible trade, give Drake London, James Cook, and a mid first. Would have 3 more firsts in 2030.
I'm getting either. Like,
Yeah.
if that's the question.
I'd rather.
Yeah,
have
if you
JT.
try to
I'd
give
rather
up
have
that, you're
JT,
not
but,
getting
like,
those players.
This is appropriate value,
Saquon's
like for either if you're acquiring the
probably
running
a
backs.
little
Like, I'm
cheaper.
taking either
I
running
don't
back
know.
for
Maybe
that.
they're about the
Yeah,
same.
well, I think if you were to trade for one of these guys, which one's going to be cheaper? Because right now, I would bet on Jonathan Taylor be cheaper.
Really?
Saquon's been so good this year.
There's the age
No.
factor, though, in a
Age,
dynasty,
yeah.
right?
The age cliff is there, but Saquon Barkley has been so good this year that I feel like whoever
No,
has
you-
him,
you-
is
you're
going to
right.
hold on to him. And whoever has him is probably winning games. I would bet that they're winning games this year. Like whoever has him probably winning games and does not want to let him go. Jonathan Taylor, however, on the other side, player who has him is probably losing some games this year. He's been bad. He's had like 2 good games this year. The rest has been disaster, or as Tyler would say, failure. And Jonathan Taylor has just been a wreck this year. I feel like you can get him for cheaper
I was
than you
looking
could
into
Saquon
it.
Barkley.
If you want to really push for this championship, I would rather have Saquon Barkley.
I would
for
rather
the
have
rest of the
Saquon
season.
Barkley. I'm not saying I'd rather have Jonathan Taylor
For
but
just the rest
you're
of the
saying
season. But
who's
for
cheaper?
Dynasty, I'd rather have JT in general. But
Yeah,
JT's
probably.
schedule coming up is really tough. He's playing like
Yes,
top
his
10
schedule-
defenses,
I mean,
5
look-
of his next 6
Yeah.
weeks.
I talked about that on my podcast this week. Like looking at
Yeah.
the sleeper schedule, it's all red. Like it's all red. It's all bad. It's not gonna be good.
And they're all top 10 defenses. The worst
Yeah.
defense is the Pittsburgh Steelers that are getting better because they got TJ Watt back.
Well, I mean,
So-
honestly, Philly might be the worst. They've been so bad against the run lately. I mean, they just
But-
let the Washington Commanders run the ball 50 plus times all over them.
Aren't
Like
they?
the Philly run defense is sucks.
Jordan Davis or
Jordan Davis has been out.
Yeah, he's been in the boot
yeah.
been out.
recently, so
But even before that, it wasn't that
he
good.
should be
anymore.
back
They were okay.
at that point.
Yeah.
So
The
Yeah, I
Eagles
agree.
defense is their whole. The Eagles run defense is their whole.
I think the answer is whoever you can get cheaper here.
I think that's the answer. Yes, because if you're saying give London, James Cook, and a mid first,
Exactly.
you're not going to get either of those players for that value. You're going to have to
Probably
get more.
not, but
you'd have to. So if you want to go cheaper, you go Jonathan Taylor. But who would you rather have? It's Saquon
Jonathan
Barkley.
Taylor.
No,
I'd
rest
rather
of the
have
season,
Jonathan
Saquon
Taylor.
Barkley.
Well, rest
I'd
of the
have
season,
Saquon.
I'd rather have Saquon Barkley, but I don't want.
Yeah.
You think they
If
fix
you're-
things
but
in the
no,
offseason
you're-
with the Colts?
If you're
Like,
looking for the push for a championship, you're probably only looking at a couple years. You're probably not looking.
Yeah, but I don't play that way. Like, I don't want to take.
I want to win
loss.
championships.
Well, I feel like I
wanna
win
win
a lot of championships.
I want to win
You can
championships.
The
win that
overall
way.
dynasty move, in my opinion, is JT. If you really want to try to ensure that championship, it's Barkley. So, like, there's points to be made on both sides. If I do prefer JT in general, but it's close.
All right.
Not really a tiebreaker.
I like the 2024 class better. Okay.
we're gonna get there with
That's
Caleb
fine.
Williams.
We'll get
I
there.
assure that we're getting there. He's a
All
stud.
right, let's talk about this.
Man.
Fields' recent fantasy success has not translated into the Bears' victories. If that continues and they
defense is
pick
so
in the
bad.
top 5, do they shop him and go quarterback in the draft? Would he be better off elsewhere?
No, they're not getting rid of Justin Fields after.
That
They're
would
not
be
getting rid of
fantastic
Justin Fields.
They should
They're-
not get rid of Justin Fields. He
So-
played so well.
Well,
He played well. He's played well.
Okay, let's talk about.
I mean, the Bears are putting up a ton of
Facts.
points on offense.
Well, how about facts? How about facts instead of
We love some
facts?
facts.
So it's been better, but he is still
Better, yeah.
incompetent. It's incompetent at throwing the ball. It still is incompetent. It still is not.
Well, it's hard to be competent when you're throwing to Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet.
Oh,
as your
I agree with you.
receivers,
I agree
and
with
no
you.
one else.
I
It's
agree with
hard.
Okay, Cole Kmet's
But he
tied
has
for
looked
second in
so
touchdowns.
bad.
Don't slander that.
He
man.
hasn't even looked as good. Like Jalen Hurts, who was not as good of a prospect as a passer as Justin Fields. Not as good. Looked far better in 2021 in his second year than Justin Fields has looked in his second year. Jalen Hurts that year, there was no A.J. Brown. Dallas Goedert was injured for a lot of it. Miles
Well, that
Sanders
was really
sucked.
from his first year as a starter. Like he didn't
No,
really play in his first year.
But that's even worse. That's even worse. That in Jalen Hurts' first year as a starter, he looked better than in Justin Fields' second year. So what I'm saying is that Justin Fields' passing is very poor. What he is, if this is what he's going to be, is not Jalen Hurts. It's not Lamar Jackson, who actually in his second year as a starter was an efficient passer who took good care of the ball, had a lot of touchdowns, maybe didn't get a lot of yards, but was efficient. He hasn't shown any capacity to do that, even in the good games. What he is Michael Vick. Someone who, not Eagles Michael Vick, Falcons Michael Vick. Falcons Michael Vick was not a good passer at all, but
No.
he dominated running the ball. He ran the ball all over you, and you couldn't stop it. You
It
knew
was
it
so
was
much fun in
coming.
Madden. So
Right,
much
but you
fun.
knew it was
No
coming.
four.
You knew it was coming, but you couldn't stop it. You couldn't stop it. It didn't matter. Didn't matter that, he never exceeded, actually, Justin Fields' completion percentage the last 2 years is better than any of Michael Vick's seasons in Atlanta.
I believe that.
And, the yards per game is,
Yep.
is similar. It's around 150, similar to a lot of Michael Vick's seasons, both years. So that's what this is. That's what you're betting on. Justin Fields has not shown the ability to pass the ball in the NFL. He still hasn't. In these games where it's been good, he still hasn't. The passing really hasn't been that much better. The last 4 weeks where he's been so great, he hasn't. His high passing yards is 179. It's not like he's.
But he hasn't hit a game of 30 pass attempts. He's
Right.
not getting many
But what I'm
attempts.
saying is that as a passer, nothing has changed. What has changed?
Not much, no.
Nothing has changed. It's actually the same. Nothing has changed.
I would disagree there.
Well, nothing has changed. I mean, you weren't running to start him in week 4 when he played against the Giants. He had 22 passing attempts that week. He had 174 yards. You weren't running to start him in that game. What about week 5? I mean, against Minnesota, where he had 208 passing yards and a passing touchdown, but 21 passing attempts. You weren't running to start him. What changed?
He was QB 13 on the week that week. I mean, he was okay as a
That's
starter.
just
Started him.
okay. Like that's okay. Like, But what changed is in week 6, where he had 88 rushing yards, in week 7, 82. Then week 8, he had 60 rushing yards on only 8 attempts. And then when they were behind that whole game, the last 2 weeks, it really went nuclear for 178 and 147 yards. That's what changed.
The coach watched Lamar film. That's what changed.
Correct. The coach realized
Yes.
Justin Fields is limited as a passer, limited, not so good. But he has strengths. You saw how athletic was he on that run. There was a run where he escaped. Remember, there was a tackle. The sack was there. He escaped that sack and I believe turned that play into a touchdown. How athletic was he on that one? So what they did, and I have to give Matt Eberflus credit for this, as a coach that I disliked. I did not like him. I have to give him credit. He saw that the offense he wanted to run would not work. Justin Fields cannot run that offense. He's incapable. He's not good enough. He's not good enough of a passer to do it. He cannot run that offense.
I think that if you give him weapons that you gave Jalen Hurts or gave Tua Tagovailoa this offseason, similar weapons.
He has not shown the ability to. He hasn't shown the ability to do that. Jalen Hurts was significantly better as a passer in 2021 than Justin Fields has been this year, with poor weapons in 2021. His weapons were poor. Maybe not quite this bad, but they were poor. They were poor. They were not good. They were poor.
Jalen Reagor was on that team last year.
Jalen Reagor and Quez
Don't
Watson
remind me, Josh. Don't
were
remind me.
on that team. It was not good. So I'm just saying it was bad, and he still did a lot more with it. So
But I don't think this question matters in the sense that I don't think they're
no,
gonna be
he's
high
not
enough.
going to be shipped off.
No.
But what I'm saying is that I'm a little less confident in Justin Fields being actually good for winning anything in the NFL than I am in Jalen Hurts now, or I was in Lamar, or in other quarterbacks who run as a significant or primary portion of their game. I don't have quite the same level of confidence that they're going to be able to translate that into winning games. So that's just where I'm at. Is I'm a little unsure about that. So because of that risk, I don't yet have him as a first-round startup pick in Superflex. I have him a little bit lower, but I have moved him up because I recognize that he's scoring fantasy points, and fantasy points is what matters in the short term. But in Dynasty, you have to recognize also that if it doesn't last, it doesn't last, and then the wheels can come off very quickly. You have, for other reasons, you have someone like Jameis Winston who put up a lot of fantasy points, but lost, and then eventually was replaced because he kept losing. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But I do think he carries a little more risk than some of the other quarterbacks. That's why I don't have him quite as high. But I've moved him up in value, and I have him as my quarterback 1 this week for start sit against Atlanta. I feel like you have to play him. I've already had 5 people ask me Fields or Lamar for this week. And I said Fields.
Quarterback 1? Yeah.
For this week, yes.
Yeah.
Against Atlanta, yes, I think so.
I got no problem with it.
I don't see, he's been the quarterback 1, I believe, the last 2 weeks, hasn't he?
Definitely.
So I don't see how I would go another way against Atlanta. It seems like a good matchup. I don't see another option. There's all the other quarterbacks have some sort of issue. Although Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are also good plays.
Probably still a little safer, but
yeah. Well, Josh Allen has the injury. That's otherwise he would be 1. But for now, I have Fields 1 for the week, so I do value him. But I just first of all, to answer this last part, I don't think he would be better off elsewhere. I think he would be better off if the current team built around him a little more, gave him a better offensive line, I think.
And I think they're going to try to do that in the offseason. I really do.
He could use a little bit more in passing weapons, but honestly, they
got Chase Claypool, so they're trying.
Look at the Ravens. The Ravens do not have passing weapons.
Mm-mm. They have Mark Andrews.
They do. And the Bears don't have anyone like that. But, if they can just get a couple more decent players that are not street free agents, I think they'll be fine. It's the offensive line is more of the issue. They need to get a better offensive line.
I also phrased my answer wrong. Please keep asking questions, Josh. Your question does matter.
Yeah, this Josh. Yeah. Okay.
This Josh.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I will just.
What?
I will
Out of nowhere.
also.
Left field.
I will say that I I appreciate the audience for sticking with us today. New co-host, new everything. I will always be here, even when I'm dying. But yeah, I just want to appreciate the audience who stuck with me over the last year and a half. Yeah, no, really. Just doing the show isn't always easy. Not every day is my best day, but the audience in the chat always delivers for me. And it's part of the reason why I've already discussed it with Addison, and I will be continuing this show throughout the 2023 offseason. So I'm not going anywhere. So, well, I don't know exactly who my, what the exact plan for the co-hosts and how that format of the show is going to work, but I'm going to be here and leading this show.
That's what we like.
So we'll have that for sure. Same time. All right, Jerome, and thank you for the super chat. And as always, if you have a super chat, we will go to it immediately. We've had some crazy ones in the past. There were some $50. There was a $99 super chat at one stage.
Really?
Yes. So if any super chat, I believe above $50, Addison said, Addison can see all the super chats on his end. Anything above $50, Addison will put you on the DLF Wall of Fame. So that's just a little thing that we're doing. So if you want to get on there, that's the way to get there. So a 10-team Superflex, half PPR, start 10. Inbox trades. Okay. So I think this is 2 trades. All right, let's start with the first one. Give Kupp, get a 2023 mid first. What about that one? In a Superflex. Do you think that's enough?
At this point, it's probably fair value.
We talked about this earlier in the show.
Yeah.
There was a question like the
10-team
first
league,
fight.
though.
If you're in a rebuild and it's this or nothing, would you take this or let it go?
If it was this or nothing in a rebuild, I would take this.
Let's say I could tell you it's a 10-team. Let's say I could tell you, let's say the worst case scenario, I'm telling you it's the 107. 107. That's what it's going to be. It's that or nothing. Those are your choices.
I'm taking it.
I think I would too in a rebuild. I think I would have to.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp is somebody that
I have my tier break right now at like 7.
What about
Cooper Kupp is someone I'm getting really scared of
well,
right now.
Let's go to the second part. What about that one? Give DK get a 23 late first. Let's say it's the 108, say, for argument.
No.
I would say no as well. I actually have DK ranked above Kupp in Dynasty now. He's over 4.5 years younger.
DK got paid the bag. Tyler Lockett might be traded soon. The Seahawks either stick with Geno Smith, who's been playing great, or they find a new quarterback in the future in their draft, possibly, because the Denver Broncos have been so bad. They're looking at a good pick from them. So, yeah, I would shoot. That's really that's a tougher, but I think I'd keep DK there.
Yeah, I don't feel the same pressure to sell DK.
Yeah, me neither. Like I don't see a reason to sell.
DK turns 25 in December.
Yeah, there's no reason to sell him right now. He's not. Yeah, there's no reason to sell him.
I'm not.
And if you're rebuilding, at least you're not getting DK's points. But DK's a young stud wide receiver, so I like building around those types of players.
200%.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate the super chat and thank you for all chats, but especially super chats. They're a good way to let Addison and the people running the YouTube channel know that you appreciate this show in particular. So thank you. Okay, from Thomas. My league is not too excited about Christian Kirk. Okay. Any ideas, arguments besides the wide receiver 7?
Wide receiver 7. Add a couple more exclamation marks.
Okay, but that's a little misleading.
Contract. Show him the $21 million you got in the offseason.
Yeah, it's a little misleading though because
millions of dollars is being paid. Trevor Lawrence, rising up and coming quarterback.
He's only the wide receiver 13 in points per game.
Yeah, it's a little misleading when you say wide receiver 7. And also
I think that's what Thomas is going for, though.
Wait,
he wants misleading stuff.
Trying to sell him.
I can't help you. I can't help you. I can also tell. I can't help you mislead the people.
You can definitely. You can definitely sell Christian Kirk more than that. You can talk about Trevor Lawrence. Now he's a rising young quarterback. You have this offense that's been getting better and better. Travis Etienne's looked good over the past few weeks. Christian Kirk's been playing great, and you have the rest of this receiving core. I mean, it's pretty questionable, this rest of this receiving core.
To me, though,
Christian Kirk is the number one, and he's proven that he can be the number one.
This is the answer.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk is worth more on your team than he is on the trade market. So
Yeah. That's it.
I don't
Yeah,
see
if you
Christian
put him on a
Kirk-
trade block and he doesn't move, then
let me put it this
stuck.
way. Christian Kirk is in that group of players that I just like never see moved. Christian Kirk, Brandon Ayuk is kind of on that list as well. I just don't see these players move.
There's a follow-up to his question a little bit lower in chat.
We'll get
Might
to
ruin his 101.
Well, yeah.
That kind of sways it a little bit. Ruin Bajan.
I'm trying to get rid of him, you know.
that might
Take
flip
the,
our
I mean, I said take the 112 originally, so
I would not. I don't think you
with the context here.
The context here, no.
If it's gonna
the
ruin your
context makes
101,
it even better to take the 112.
Context.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's really tough. If you really want Bijan, yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
I think that 101 is at the point where it's worth giving up Kirk maybe a little low.
So let's do a little review. We just now got to the questions that came in while we were recording. Just now, we finished the questions from before we started.
Really good at details.
Yes, we're really good at this, guys.
Well, yeah,
really
but
good.
like I always say, Addison and Cal definitely speed me up, not slow me down. If you let now that I'm the one in
Josh,
charge,
this is on us, bro. This is
I'll
on
just
us.
go. Nobody's going to tell me that my speaking time is over. I do appreciate them for that, but
I would never.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, I'll mention something about J.K. Dobbins again.
Don't you dare! Don't you? You wouldn't.
I will dare.
You wouldn't.
I would.
To 2025 first.
No, we'll have to have a little. We'll go on a side tangent about the wire.
Wow. 2025.
I'll take the 2 first, even though it's far away.
Ooh, I was just.
I'm
about to say,
nervous
I
about
think the
Devontae.
value is very close, but I 2024 first. I would take 2025 first.
I think I have to.
Javonte Williams, because the thing is, his
You're extra
ACL is
nervous
not an
about the injury.
ACL. It is not just an ACL. It is a very
yeah.
different injury. It's a very concerning injury. And given that this Broncos offense has looked horrific, given that, Javonte Williams, while we love him, and I do love him, I thought he was going to be the next superstar. He never really has shown it yet. We don't, everyone assumes he's a superstar, and he's not. He isn't.
Well, let me ask you that. Let me ask you this then. Would you rather have Javonte Williams or DeAndre Swift?
In Dynasty.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift, because he's not missing the year. He's not missing the year, and he's not dealing with horrific.
Well, I mean, he
This
is
is that
missing
argument.
it. He's playing, but he's barely there. So he is
Yeah,
missing
but
it. He's
here
missing
we
it by
go.
fantasy.
Oh,
He's
this is
not
the
dealing
argument
with
of
the
all
horrific knee injury, though. The knee
It's
injury
DeAndre
is
Swift!
long term.
Well, why isn't he playing then? Why is he? He must be injured because what is the problem? Every week there's a new problem.
The Lions are in rebuild mode, man. The Lions don't want to hurt him.
That's
Again,
a great
good
point.
though.
So the Lions are in rebuild mode, so they're not going to play him, and that would be a good excuse. But were they in rebuild mode in week 2? They had, where they won that game, by the way. In week 2, they were already in a rebuild where he had 5 carries in that game already. Only 5 carries. They were in a rebuild already at that point. What about in week 3? They were in a rebuild in that one where he played 41% of the snaps. They were already rebuilding at a 1-on-1 record. So they weren't in a rebuild then, and he still did not see the work of a good running back. So they were rebuilding at the start of the season. They came in that way. No, what happened is he had 15 carries in week 1, even though he had 144 yards. They decided that they didn't want to give him the carries, and he's never gotten them again. I mean, that's what happened. That's the reality.
But he was so good in week 1.
I know, which is genuinely terrifying. But
He's
it is what it
10
is.
opportunities week 2. Jamal just dominated that game.
Yeah, well,
They just gave the high hand to Jamal.
I'd rather have Javonte Williams over DeAndre Swift. I've seen enough of DeAndre Swift.
I think that's crazy.
It's not.
Javonte with
It's
his
not crazy.
injury, it's insane, and you can't.
It's-
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
Why?
can his value get any lower than it is now? That's the whole argument here.
Why I don't think
Javonte?
it's crazy.
Javonte's can't till he steps back on the field.
Javonte's value.
Right.
I think this
About.
offseason you can get a
Javonte's
little
value
more.
could get lower
I don't know,
because
I
he
think
could
this offense
he
you
could
get a
pull
little bit
J.K.
more.
Dobbins and look like he could pull a J.K.
Well,
Dobbins.
he said until he steps onto the field.
Until he steps on
Yes,
the
until
field,
he
his
steps on
value
the
is
field, his value will
concrete.
not go up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, DeAndre Swift is not really stepping on the field as it is. So
Yeah.
I don't know. DeAndre Swift, I had him ranked at RB23 this week, but that seems too high. I think he needs to be ranked even lower.
Yeah, he's not startable this week. I said he wasn't really. I didn't think of him as a very startable option last week, and I don't think of him as one this week.
Yeah, I just moved him down to running back 26. I just felt like it.
27 seems like a better number.
No, Michael
Why not
Carter's at
29?
27, and I don't want to put him there. Michael
Can we
Carter.
get a 28?
Mitchell.
Nah, no, 27 is my favorite number, actually.
Oh, maybe I should rank. You know what? Elijah Mitchell should be ranked ahead of DeAndre Swift. I'll change. All right, DeAndre Swift is now down to running back
Probably.
27 this week.
Not probably, definitely.
There
Yeah,
you go,
that's
Josh.
what I'm talking about.
There you go,
That's what I'm
there you
talking
go.
about. That's why I like J.K. Dobbins so much, too. He's number 27. So.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins. I have him ranked in Dynasty.
I'm sorry I brought up his name.
No, he's very good. I have him ranked in Dynasty. Oh, it's all the way. Oh no, at running back 27.
Oh! Let's go. That's awesome. That's badass.
Man.
That makes sense.
All right, I'll take the picks here.
I'll
Hello.
take the picks just
And I'm fine
barely.
with it, too.
What's up?
Even though
I was the Mr.
Hey.
Krause when Josh ran to go get the jersey. I'm like, when's it my
Yes.
turn? Internally,
Ryan,
looking around.
you always get a turn.
I know, but like when we were going clockwise, I was like, huh? Where'd he go?
No, I do feel like sometimes I don't give anyone else a turn, but that's okay.
Hello.
Hello. I appreciate everyone who tunes in to my YouTube channel.
Go.
It is
Let's
you
go.
know, it is a smaller channel. I do wish it was a little more. I mean, I guess I can say that. Like, I wish more people watched.
I'll never forget the day Calvin really got traded and covering Ridley Truther was in the chat. Best day of
Yeah.
his YouTube life.
Yeah, I do appreciate everyone who tunes in on my own channel. It's YouTube is a grind. Like, it grinds me down. Like I still haven't found the secret sauce on there, honestly. But I will say that ever since Josh started coming on the show, the customer reviews have been better.
It's all
I see
because of
that
me,
now.
obviously.
Yeah, no, the people like you. The people on the Patreon like you.
I mean,
The
I don't
age clip
blame
has
him.
reverted. The age clip has reverted.
Yeah.
He's found new use.
Yeah, Hutch, how's that make you feel? 30-year-olds. I'm sorry, man.
Appreciate another Josh. Appreciate as always. And we have yet another Josh who hasn't
There
been able
are
to
a
come
lot
on
of
the last
Joshes
couple of
around.
weeks.
How many times have we said like Josh?
But he,
and been like, what?
let's remind ourselves that the other Josh was a big fan of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's what he said. And he's not here to defend himself.
Not me.
Uh,
Okay.
But let's remember who was right. Not him. I think Clyde Edwards-Miller or Clyde Edwards-Failure. Some of the names I have for him.
Failure.
Yeah. Well, he's big failure. He's like the ultimate failure.
He man.
Yeah,
It's
4% of snaps this week. 4% is not so good.
4%.
It was not so good. He didn't get a single carry. He got lost. That was the problem.
We saw 2 targets.
Next week, I think Ronald Jones will be active and Clyde Edwards-Helaire inactive. I think that could be the case. So watch for
Take
that.
their L just yet. They're getting there.
Yeah. All right. Win now. Jamal Dillon and mid 23 second for a late 23 first. Wow.
The value's
Wow.
on the package a little bit more. Your
Really?
win now, you're getting rid of 2 running
it?
backs that you can start.
Is the
I think
value-
so.
I don't know if it is.
I
really
think
don't.
so.
I don't think it is. I think the value is with the late 23 first.
Yeah, but I'm keeping the size in a win now.
In a win now, nah.
Yeah, if
I
I'm
would
trying to
keep the
win
package.
and this is what I have, I'll keep it and try to
I'll
roll
keep the
it.
package. Yeah, it's because I think it's pretty fair, even value. Honestly, I think I'd slightly favor the 2023 first, just
Now,
in a vacuum, because just that's a first round pick, and I feel like these
Oh,
other
it's
3
super
guys,
too.
these other 3 pieces are kind of like questionable, iffy. That first is like it's a first round pick for 2023, which looks like a pretty solid class in a super flex league. So, but if you're looking to win now, you don't want that pick because it's the future. It's not going to help you win now. Jamal and Dylan will at least do something for you. Win now.
if you could persuade him that his 2024 first is late, go with that. But not taking the 23.
Great smiles.
Hell,
Aw,
heck
thank you.
yeah.
So In
wear
the
my
chat-
retainer at night. There we go.
In the chat, I think that we should vote for who has the best smile, because it's not me. I never smile, so it's one of the other three. But yeah, put in your vote in the chat for best smile,
Who's the best smile?
and I'll give them a special shout out next week on my own show.
A special shout out next week in the show. Okay.
Well, I'll have a segment prepared. Just
All
like
right.
I was very prepared. Remember how prepared I was for Frank Reich? I was very prepared. I had a lot of
Man,
receipts.
yes.
I
I
couldn't
unfortunately
have been
missed
prepared.
that. I unfortunately missed that rant.
The funniest
But
part was
it
when
came
Josh
on right
tried
after.
to interrupt, and I was like, "I'm not done. I'm not done." Oh, and then there was
I
someone
was just like,
very
Frank
loud,
ran in a
wait,
winning
the best
record.
part was there was someone's very loud burp in the middle of that rant. If you listen to the audio, you can hear. I don't know who it is.
It was probably me. I think it was.
It was
burping
either
a
you
lot
or
that day.
Conan.
Yeah.
But there's someone's very loud burp in the middle of it. It's like so audible. I was like, oh my God, this is so funny. I love it. Go subscribe to my channel. I put the link. Oh, look. Look at the bottom. So scroll to the bottom.
Did someone get a vote?
Oh,
No.
it's our favorite accounts.
Our favorite account. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wait! You're
Oh.
talking about the PAS 36.
Yes.
Man, we-
Wait! I need to tell you guys a
Girls,
story. Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Also, this is a link to my YouTube channel, but go ahead. Tell the story.
I was on a live stream with Club Fantasy FFL, right? With I was on with Joe Zolo and Luke Sawhook joined as well.
When can
we
I
were
get
on a
Luke
live
on
stream.
this show?
And we were just doing our thing live stream. We were doing a start sit show. This was this past Saturday, and there were 3 of these like weird accounts, like these weird women commenting some weird things on there, and we interacted with them. We were asking them questions like, "What's
I'm
their
not gonna
favorite
do that.
What's their favorite football team?" And the thing is, they weren't robots because they replied with those exact answers. They were real people. And they were commenting the weirdest things, and we were just sitting there hysterically laughing. I mean, Joe on the show, he's like 24. Luke is like 20 or 21. I'm 16. We're all immature boys, and we're just laughing at these things the entire stream. It's just hilarious, and the comments were getting a kick out of it. It was the most ridiculous show I've ever been on because there were like 4 of them, and they were all commenting the same really graphic, really inappropriate things. But it was freaking hilarious.
Inappropriate is relative, but it depends on what they were saying. I don't know.
Okay.
18
plus. How about I say that?
18 plus. I mean,
Yes.
I always say that this show is mostly family friendly, except if I'm in a bad mood that day, and then it may not be so family friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, this show it's at 9:00. It's out of the family friendly broadcasting window.
They were not. No, sheesh. They were not bots. I promise.
I believe
they were
you.
replying. They were replying to everything we were saying. We asked them a lot of different questions. They were replying the exact right answers.
Let's. I will take us
They were
back
not bots.
off of the tangent that I put us on. I like. I think I figured out what it is. I think I figured out why I have more energy on my own show than this one sometimes. I think I'm better when I'm in control of the show. I think I'm better when I'm controlling the topics. I think it helps me. I think I lose focus when I give up control of that. I have to talk about that with Addison. Suggest it. Because Addison is like one of the best analysts I know. And like
Addison's really cool.
Yeah, no, Addison's one of the best. So like if I think the show might be better when Addison's back, if we hear a little more nonsense from me and a little more analysis from Addison. I think the show that might improve things if I'm reading the questions and then Addison can focus on analysis. Might have to suggest that. I think that we're always looking for ways to improve. And I think that might be a good way to hear more from Addison because I do feel like we don't hear enough from Addison on this show. Okay. 18 PPR. That's interesting. Start 8 Superflex. It's a very shallow league, 8 teams start 8.
Yeah.
I traded Tua, Damian Pierce, Alec Pierce, and a mid-second for Justin Herbert and Najee Harris. Win or loss?
Trading for Najee Harris is automatically an L.
Well, I actually
the values.
I just personally hate
weird
Najee Harris.
on my
I'm
screen.
done with him.
On my
But-
screen, something weird just happened. That last name, it seems to be Najee spelled very weird. It's spelled Trent.
Oh, no. Failure.
And Harris is bizarrely spelled Richardson. I'm unfamiliar with that spelling of Najee Harris, but it just seems so weird.
Tua Damian
Whenever
Pierce.
Najee Harris comes up on my screen, suddenly it is changed into Trent Richardson. I
Wow.
don't know if I have like a
Gotta get your
browser
computer checked
extension
out.
that's a little funky, but seemingly that always happens. And I'm just very confused.
Wow. Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the question, but that's okay.
I know.
I'll take
is so tough.
the Justin Herbert side.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Still got the
I'll
best
take
player in the deal.
Damian
so.
Pierce and Najee Harris are
Who
similar
is the
value.
best player in the
Take
deal?
Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
Oh man.
What do you want to say? What is it? What is it, Hutch?
Who is it? Hutch?
Oh my goodness, I'm really tilting here with this one. I really
I think
don't
the
want
value
Najee
is
at
very
I
all.
mean, Hutch,
even
you're
on
sitting
this
up
trade.
pretty straight to me. You don't look like you're tilting.
The value's even though.
I'm here all
in my
day. I'm
opinion.
here all
Yeah,
day.
I think the value
here all
here
day.
is
It's
even,
an
but the problem
18,
is-
and that's why I would go with Justin Herbert. I getting the best player in the trade is even more important to me in an 8-team league.
but in
The
an 18
second
league,
is even
everybody
less
has studs,
valuable.
not everybody has depth. Like an 18 league,
It
you can
seems like
find
it's a pretty
studs
What do you
everywhere.
mean not
Whoa.
everyone has depth? There's 8 teams, and you only
Yeah, no,
start
but
8. Of
everyone
course everyone
has
has
those-
depth. You only start
The
64
second doesn't
players.
do
Where
as
are all the
much,
rest of the
too.
players?
Well, a little bit. It's a higher pick, but like
Yeah.
again, it's just less.
That's why I lean toward the premium side
Yeah,
with Herbert
yeah.
because
Yeah,
I
that's-
lean
depth
towards
is-
it,
You
but
can always find more depth in the format.
production this year, you might be getting it out of Tua and Damian Pierce.
Because I'm thinking about like if you're trying to win this year, Tua, Damian Pierce are going to help you more than Justin Herbert and Najee Harris. will.
I know, but
That is easy, and
I
it is
want-
dumb. It's not even
I
close.
want Justin Herbert though.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert is great, yeah. And when his receivers come back, he's probably
I
gonna be.
will
easier.
say,
But-
people came at me saying that
Well, why did you think that Justin Herbert is good? Oh, he hasn't won that many games.
Oh, he's so good.
He really isn't very
Great.
good. Oh,
and
He's
I'm
an
like,
elite asset. Top
Elite
5.
player.
Even super. fun.
yeah, they were like,
well, Tua was so much better over the last 2 years than Justin Herbert.
I'm like, no, he
You mean
wasn't.
1 year?
I was like, no, he wasn't.
yeah.
Justin Herbert had 5,000 yards last year. I don't think so. Sorry. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that was my impression of the voice
So
of
I
public
think-
opinion.
I think. Oh man, you're thinking that.
Hutch,
it's
just say it. You want the Tua
You
side.
wanna
It's
say
okay.
it.
No,
It's
I'm
okay.
thinking.
It's
I'm
okay.
thinking.
It's okay. Just say it
There's nothing
because
wrong with it.
just say it because otherwise, the people will accuse you of being a flip flopper.
Yeah, I want because the thing is, I'm thinking because you started saying it. It's 8 starters, which means the superstars are more relevant. Yeah, I'm completely tilted. I think. You know, I'm gonna
This is
stick
the
with
most
my
I've
gut.
seen
I'm
you
gonna go
struggle
to a
all
side. I'm gonna
night.
stick with my gut. I'm gonna go
what-
to
what's
a side.
that?
I think it's fine. I don't think that's.
I'm gonna
that
stick with my
crazy.
gut. Go to a side. I really like Tua. I think he is the franchise guy. He's played amazing. He's Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle on this team. Damian Pierce has looked like a stud. I know there's a risk of Texans possibly picking a running back, but he's played like a stud. I think they're going to continue to use him. Alec Pierce, potential hope in this offense. He's flashed, and a mid-second. I mean, you got a shot there at something. I'm so dead with Najee Harris. Like I'm just done. I think it's over. Like I'm done with him. Completely done.
I hear you.
I'd rather have Damian Pierce in Dynasty than Najee Harris.
They're not that different in value.
I think that's.
And
fine to say.
it's not very close for me either. Like it's easy.
Yeah, I just find Damian Pierce to have a little bit of risk that I don't see with Najee Harris.
There is risk. But Najee Harris doesn't have a ceiling to me.
That's true.
I don't
Not
think he has
this
much of
year.
a ceiling at all.
Is Jalen Warren going to take that job anytime soon? Who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he seriously might.
That offensive line just needs to be better. Get better.
All right, what about the
Because we've
next one?
seen, because the thing is, sorry, I just want to say one last thing. We've seen Mike Tomlin do something he's almost never done before, which is use a committee backfield.
I know.
There's
Starting to get more and more
It's
touches.
weird.
That's never happened before in a Mike Tomlin backfield. Mike Tomlin's backfield is one guy controlled.
It also shows his
Najee Harris has
hesitancy
been-
to go away from Najee Harris, though, too. I think. A
Yeah.
little bit. But
Harris
it
has
is a
been-
great point.
Harris has been so bad that Mike Tomlin thinks we need to run a committee backfield.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that is insanity.
Yeah.
Like that's where we're at. Najee's done for. Honestly, he's done. It's
Yeah.
over. Right.
Is Chris Godwin a buy?
Yeah.
He was.
Better buy before last week.
I've been begging.
Yeah, it would have been a great
begging.
buy a couple weeks ago.
Now when he scores a touchdown, now you want to buy him. Now, after everyone sees that he's good, now you want to do it.
Now you want to buy it. It's just tough to buy now. It's kind of
Sure though. Like if
the
you could
window
get,
has
I think
started
we're
to
all
close.
fans. It
If
sounds like
anyone
still.
says that I don't care and I just come out here to just because I know I can just kind of do whatever and people probably will still watch, I do still care. I've been talking about this for weeks. It's frustrating. He's not a buy anymore.
Yeah, the window
late.
has
has slammed shut. But I've been saying he's doing well. He's just not scoring. He's been doing well. He's not just scoring. Touchdowns are going to regress. Tom Brady hasn't been as bad as people say. I've been saying that all year. So, if you haven't bought him, it's certainly not because I didn't tell you to. But yeah, at this point, I still have him ranked pretty high. I'd rather have Godwin than Debo moving forward. I had to choose, for example.
Yeah, I definitely would.
If you can get Godwin plus for Debo on the old value of Debo, I would do it. For sure.
You might be
Absolutely.
able to. You might be able to.
Yeah.
You really might.
Yeah, yes, he's a buy. If you're looking to buy back a couple of years and you can get Godwin plus for Diggs or Tyreek, I might do it.
I would.
Because you can probably get a significant plus with that. Yes, he's still a buy. It's going to be harder now.
The NFC set up for Tom Brady to go on one of those rampages to just win the whole conference.
Wouldn't that be nice?
So,
it would be Tom Brady, yeah.
Yeah. The Buccaneers and the Commanders still have the same record, so let's not get carried away.
Hey, but that division is so weak. So they don't need a lot to make the playoffs.
Yeah. And they're getting hot. They're going to the bye this week. I could see it happening.
All right. Let's we're going to keep it moving. Yeah.
This is Christian
I have
Watson.
first priority on waivers. Now, first of all, I have a big complaint that you're still in a league that has waiver priority instead of Fab.
I hate it. I'm in those leagues too. Fab is the move.
Fab is the move. Fab is the way to go. Fab is better. It gives you more strategy. Don't you want more strategy?
My league mates don't.
Well,
I'm gonna clip that and send it to him.
Clip it.
That is better
Christian
than
Watson
everything.
so easily. Van Jefferson has done nothing all year.
No, Van Jefferson is no. This is not.
He is nothing. He's terrible. We know he's terrible.
Yeah,
Ben
the
Skowronek has
Rams
played ahead of him all year.
Is there any Rams offensive player that we want in fantasy right now? Because there's none. I don't want Stafford.
Tyler Higbee. Because without Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee was immediately
he showed some life
usable.
in the beginning of the year, then he disappeared for a few weeks, and then he finally showed some life last
I think he's just going to be needed in the offense.
When Cooper Kupp went out, Tyler Higbee immediately was used again.
Yes, he's going to be needed.
And in the tight end landscape, he's a starter.
Yeah, he's top 4 at this point.
Allen Robinson, I will say, I have him ranked at wide receiver 32 this week. Not 10. I don't believe it at all. 32.
Not.
I didn't want Allen Robinson.
If I had to start one Rams wide receiver this week, it would be Allen Robinson. Yeah. Even though Ben's going to be on the field a lot,
he did step up.
He's already
in the last week in Cooper Kupp's place. I get it. I don't want to start him. You don't have to.
I don't want to.
I don't. You don't have to. I have him at 32.
He's a flex play. You
don't have to. You could have better options because well, if you're listening to my advice, you don't have Allen Robinson.
You might have gotten him off the waiver wire.
Well, we know my speech about Allen Robinson. We know my opinion on Allen Robinson. But for this question, it's Christian Watson. I had Christian Watson this week.
Yes, easily.
Well, this week I have Christian Watson at wide receiver 27.
Yeah, 27. So let's go.
Yeah,
start him up. Christian Watson's having another 3.
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to go with it. I think it's. I'm fine putting him in against
the Tennessee Titans. Are
scary
not good.
I would rather play Christian Watson than DJ Moore this week. DJ Moore, the ECR says DJ Moore is ranked, I believe, at 22. Christian Watson at 35. I totally disagree. I would rather play Christian Watson. I have DJ Moore at 28, and I think that's too high.
I feel like some people on waivers with the Bills pass catchers should try to go after these guys because there is going to be 4 to 6 feet of snow. That's the rumor I've been hearing. So
4 to 6 feet.
yeah, historic lake effect snow. So keep an eye on that this week.
How are they even going to play?
No, they can't play if there's 4. They're not going to play.
It's supposed to end by Sunday a.m.
They'll make it happen in Buffalo.
Well, then
So,
they'll have
it's
the
Buffalo, that's what
plow.
I'm
The
saying,
plow
yeah.
will happen. The plow will happen, and so I don't understand. Maybe someone can explain this to me. Why can't they just put like a? This might be a very dumb idea. Why can't they just put like a tarp on the field, and then when the snow is done, just wheel the snow off? Why can't they do that?
You're making way too much sense right now, Tyler. It's not.
Yeah, doesn't
There's
that
no
make
tarps
perfect
that day.
sense?
Come on, man.
No, but there is. You could put a tarp on
kidding.
the field and
I'm
you
kidding.
just wheel the snow out of the stadium. Why is that? You have a tow truck and you just that sounds like a great idea. Right?
It's a fantastic idea.
They're going to
I've
tell
never
me it's a
thought of
good
it.
I've already learned my lesson. They're going to tell me it's a good idea whether it is or isn't. They're not going to tell me the truth.
Well, you
Oh
have-
no!
you
No,
have
I mean,
fans
I'll
that
tell you
shovel
if it's a
snow.
dumbass idea, but like, why not?
Yeah,
It makes
so
sense to
yeah,
me,
so
like-
my
shovel
idea
snow,
of a
like-
tow truck is a great idea. There has to be some
It can't be good to plow.
There has
the
to be
field
some
beforehand.
solution to this problem that we're not thinking of. If the snow is going to be over it, why can't?
Playing a dome.
Well, that would be my idea. Why? That's probably the best plan.
But being
Apparently the weight of the snow on the tarp will ruin the field because the snow has. But why?
Where does it
so,
go otherwise?
I'm sorry. What if the tarp's not there? So the weight of the snow wouldn't ruin the
Yeah.
field anyway.
I think when you're dragging
Because
the
the
tarp
tarp
off,
is-
when you're dragging the tarp off,
Oh,
it ruins the field. That's what he's saying.
Bravo! Who
Heck
was it?
yeah,
Brandon
I
Thompson?
missed this in school.
Let's go. Let's go. Bravo.
I
Oh.
say. Well, we'll have to work out another solution.
We'll get
Um,
logistics in. We'll think about this after the show.
Yeah. All right. There still has to be a better way to stop. If someone has a better way to stop the snow from getting on the field, we'll have to think of something.
Other than
Can't they have like a temporary roof? Is that not like a possibility?
heated fields? Nope, that wouldn't work. That would just turn.
No, that would be a good idea. The snow would melt.
Yeah, but then where's all the water go?
It
Drainage.
dries.
Yeah, drainage. Yeah, you're
It
right.
evaporates.
It's too heavy for the grass, man. We've learned this already.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. 10-team half PPR, non-tight end premium, Superflex, start 9. Give Freiermuth and Dotson. Get Hollywood Brown. It's very interesting. What do we think about this one? I think it's very.
We
I
were
think
talking
it's
about
very
yesterday.
interesting.
I'm a fan of Freiermuth, but
Me too.
I think
I think
he's a good player.
and
Dotson's a great player. I do.
I
believe
know
that
I'm a fan of Dawson too.
Dotson's a great.
I think
player,
I'd
and I
lean
think-
on the package side here.
Just
I-
barely.
Just barely want
Barely.
the package. Just barely, yeah.
Very close.
Yep.
Move pushes
This is,
over.
I think this is a really good. I think this is a really good overall trade for both sides. But
Hollywood can come back and make us look silly if he comes back and does what he was
could.
doing
he
before
could
he went
really come
out,
back and make us look silly, especially like
or he could come
DeAndre
back
Hopkins
and
is
not.
going to be taking because DeAndre Hopkins is taking the number one corner. Marquise Brown is going to have to deal with that guy anymore.
Yeah, I really think we don't know what the range of outcomes is,
Yes,
Oh,
Marquise
it's
Brown
wide.
could really blow up this
or really
this
be a disappointment.
last 2 weeks. He could. He could also be a big disappointment.
So
if
that's
the
why I
volume
think
is
this
there.
trade is pretty fair. I do
Yeah.
like the Freiermuth and Dotson side. It's the younger side, and tight end
Yeah.
is hard to find. So I mean, you
the
have.
overall values on that side.
So I think yeah, and that's what they have now. So I think I'm going to.
I say that term like I've said it like 25 times.
Where were we?
Um,
Uh,
In the middle.
We
I'll
did
comment
this
below.
one.
I just saw. Have you guys seen this video from the fantasy football counselor yet?
Yes.
The video he just posted.
Which one?
No, the video he said, just ranting about how if Cooper Kupp finishes number one receiver, he would quit fantasy, and that he is right because Cooper Kupp got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh
Who
gosh,
cares? He's irrelevant.
he is oh my gosh, I've seen his content a lot, but
He doesn't make content.
I've seen his stuff a lot, his BS a lot, but I finally started retweeting it and telling people how garbage it is.
Yeah, he doesn't make content. He
He
makes
doesn't make
nonsense.
content. He makes
Yeah,
nonsense.
he makes
That is-
nonsense. He
That is true.
yeah, that's not content. Yeah, there's a difference between content. You can have fun and be like, whatever. Like, not everything you talk about has to be about football, but his content is just him saying that he's great. And when it's, he really believes that if it goes well, it's because of him. And if it goes poorly, then it's not his fault. And, that type of attitude is something I really, because the reality is that it's not necessarily your fault no matter what happens, because you don't control the players on the field. That's the reality.
No, it's not your fault.
Like, it's careful. You should be careful how much you take credit for, because a lot of this stuff is random / out of your control. But that's why we do the best we can. And a lot of the stuff that we give advice about on this show is stuff you can control. That has nothing to do with the outcomes on the field. It has to do with valuing trades, dynasty strategy. Those are things that you can gain an advantage during the offseason when no games are being played. So that's why I focus on that, because it's a sustainable way to beat the odds of a somewhat random season.
Wait, hold on a second.
What's up?
Okay, because I saw a comment on the post that said he was literally on pace to break the single season reception record.
Yeah, he is having a great season.
Probably was.
Yeah, 75 receptions in 9 games.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Really good.
Cooper Kupp was good.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Just
All right,
all
so
right.
I'm gonna do the math and figure this out.
Yeah, do the math.
I'll get back to you.
Would you be fine giving a mid 23 second for Antonio Gibson or David Montgomery?
For Monty, yeah. At this point,
For both, I'd be fine doing that.
For Monty, yeah. For Gibson, it's okay.
For Gibson's
Monty,
okay. I'd be more
Definitely for Montgomery with the Khalil Herbert.
Yes, with the Khalil Herbert injury, yes.
If you're competing right now, I think David Montgomery is a pretty good piece for you to go out and get.
yeah.
death, taxes,
Oh,
and
I'm back,
David
by the way.
Montgomery late season runs.
Seriously, and
It's
with how
inevitable.
Justin Fields is playing, like you might be. It's like
What is
Justin
he,
Fields is
Thanos?
running all the time, but
Pretty much.
David Montgomery's the guy. He's gonna.
So he's
get,
Thanos. He's inevitable.
Last 5 games, David
Mhm.
Montgomery is equivalent to
Mhm.
Thanos. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
And you
wait,
could
wait,
probably
wait.
get him cheap because David
Oh.
Montgomery has not been necessarily playing very well lately. So
Oh crap! I did a bunch of math wrong. I have to figure this out again because I included the game
That's
he got
okay.
hurt.
You still have some
I'm-
time left in high school to learn how to do math better.
No, because I included the. I did the
I
math
still
right. I
feel
just
bad
included the
about
game he got
learning
hurt.
that, so.
I included the game he got hurt. That's why I did it wrong. But I'm
All
doing.
right.
I'm going back.
Single QB league have Burrow and Fields. Would you trade Fields, AJ Brown, and Damian Pierce for CMC and CeeDee Lamb?
single quarterback league.
I still think the value is with CMC and CeeDee Lamb.
I agree. I agree.
It's tough to actually pull the trigger.
Is true. Cooper Kupp was on pace for just over 155 receptions. That would have broken the
See,
record.
no fake
Michael
news
Thomas-
on this show.
Michael Thomas had 149 in 2019, I believe.
Isn't that
which broke the
crazy?
record.
Michael Thomas, how the
Catches
mighty
per
have
game,
fallen.
though.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, and that doesn't include the game he got hurt. I excluded that one out. So the first 8 weeks he was on pace for the single season reception record, which is
All right.
insane.
What about this trade? What about that one?
This trade,
This
so
trade.
CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown, let's just talk about value. I think they're valued pretty similarly right now.
I
I think
agree.
a lot of people are going to take AJ Brown over him, but
You're
I
bigger
think
than
they're neck and neck right now.
Ooh.
Damian Pierce,
Wait,
and now,
AJ
now
Brown
we're
and
comparing
CeeDee
it.
Lamb?
AJ Brown and CeeDee Lamb, yes.
Yes, that's a fair. That's a
So
fair
it's
take.
like
Yeah, that's
Justin
fair.
Fields in a 1 quarterback league plus Damian Pierce for CMC. I'd rather have CMC there. So I think I'm going to go the CMC CeeDee Lamb side personally.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. It's
I think I'd be with that as well because Fields, the Bears are still losing games, and there is we talked about it being very low. I think there is a very slight chance that it is possible that the Bears could draft a quarterback. I notice how I built a lot of question marks in that sentence.
I think it's
I think
almost
there's
That's the
still
Mrs.
a risk.
redraft.
Oh, this is redraft?
It's not.
It's not
assume
redraft,
it
right? It was Dynasty, right?
assume it's on this show. It's not like our
Yeah,
show.
on this show, it's Ask
on this
Dynasty
show,
League
I
Football,
assume
Ask
it's
DLF.
Dynasty unless I'm told otherwise.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So I would
On our show, I assume it's redraft.
I would slightly go
Our-
with
Our channel doesn't
with
say
CMC
Dynasty.
CeeDee Lamb. I'd
Yeah,
very slightly lean CeeDee Lamb.
I was leaning the package when I thought it was redraft, but give me CMC and CeeDee Lamb.
Well, they're
like you
both
said.
packages.
Well, in redraft, I feel like I would almost want CMC more.
Yeah, because he's
No.
older. Yeah, in redraft, CMC becomes more valuable. But yeah,
No, I just think
CMC.
it's gonna get replaced. I just had that hunch. We've seen
What?
it so many times. The Dameon
What
Pierce is
Dameon
gonna get
Pierce?
replaced.
I know. I want to believe in him because he's like I
So
don't
did James
think
Robinson.
there aren't 10 running backs that have outplayed him this year.
I know, but it is what it is.
And honestly, I was talking about it on a different show. I can't remember what show.
How many shows are you on?
Too many.
I'm on a lot of different
Never
shows.
too many. Never too many yet.
Do
I
it
was
while
talking
you're
about a lot of
young,
different-
because
I think
when you
this
get
was with-
old,
I think this might have been with Luke and Joe. I mean, we were making lists because I initially said there aren't 5 running backs that haven't outplayed Dameon Pierce this year. And they were like, whoa. And then they started listing guys. I was like, okay, maybe like 6 or 7. But seriously, like he's played like a top 8 running back in the NFL this year. Like it's he's been dominant.
I loved him coming out of college. Out of
I
Florida.
liked him a lot too.
Well,
I did
yeah.
like him a lot. I
Addison
wrote an
hated
article
him.
on DLF that talks about him as a value pick in rookie
Addison
draft, and I
hated him.
still look back and it was the best.
and I said I was in favor.
Well, it makes sense to not love him because he
never
didn't
produced.
get a lot of
There was, like, no
work
tape.
in college. There's
I
like
told you
there's
the
not a
work
lot to
he
go
got.
off of.
Plus,
Florida Gator fan base now dislikes Addison. They are coming for him.
Because like the touches he did get,
he's
they were
great.
good, man. They were
He's
so
great.
good.
He's
I think
great.
he only had 100 carries his senior year or something like that.
Yeah,
I
he
think it
didn't
was
really get
exactly
much,
100.
but the touches he got were awesome, and he
had,
continues.
like,
to
13
do
You know
it.
what I'm really
touchdowns.
excited for? I'm really excited for when it's so far away from now, but I'm excited for when we have our marathon streams during the NFL draft.
Oh, and then he
Ooh.
gets stolen from us. Dameon
Just
Pierce.
weird.
He gets
You know how
stolen,
sick?
guys.
You know how sick I was for those? I was so sick, and I did a 6-hour show. I think I had the flu. I did a 6-hour show and then a 7-hour show the next day.
COVID.
I did not have COVID.
Sorry, guys. No PTSD.
The one thing I
I'll bring
tested
that
for,
up.
I wouldn't know between the other things, but I did not
Yeah,
have
yeah,
COVID.
yeah.
Cooper Kupp
Obviously.
I did a show with COVID. I did a couple of
only had
shows with
one
COVID
game
over the
under
summer.
8 receptions this year when he was fully healthy.
I had COVID in July.
Cooper Kupp was so freaking good. He
Cooper
is so
Kupp was
freaking good. It
unbelievable.
just Dynasty. He's gonna be 30 years old. We all get it when that
What does this have to
happens,
do
right?
with Rashad
Um,
White?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Right now
I was looking at.
We're going
Sorry,
over
I was.
We're
I'm sorry.
reminiscing. We missed the
left
good
Cooper
old days
Kupp's
of having
game log.
Cooper Kupp being a 20
I left
Cooper
Cooper
Kupp's
Kupp's
game
game
in
log
there.
on my phone, and I was glancing over at it. I realized there's only one game this year where he.
But don't you want to talk about Rashad
White?
White? Aren't you
Yeah,
a big
talk
fan
about
of Rashad White?
He is going to be the starter moving forward.
I know.
He's gonna be the starting back moving forward, and
I think
he
it's gonna be a
looks
split though.
freaking
I'm gonna be
good.
honest with you.
Really good.
Leonard
It
Fournette's still
makes me
gonna play.
happy.
Leonard Fournette's still gonna
Rashad
play,
White started the last
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
but Rashad White's gonna be. Rashad White will outtouch Leonard Fournette for the rest of the season.
I'm with
agree.
you. I'm with you. I'm
He
with
will
you.
outtouch him.
Yeah.
He will.
I agree with you.
I just don't want anyone to get carried away. I'm a Rashad White fan as well. I think he's a really
Leonard
good
Fournette's gonna be involved though. It's gonna be a committee backfield. It will absolutely be a committee backfield.
exactly.
They're not gonna give
That's-
Rashad White a
that's
workhorse
all I
role.
want to say.
I think you
Yeah.
can flip how you were ranking them. For like I had
I think that's
when I was
fair.
doing
Not
weekly
going into the
rankings
season, but recently, yes.
recently.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
more
with
recently, yes. I think Rashad White, I think he deserves to be ranked over Leonard Fournette rest of the season.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
definitely.
agree. I agree.
Okay, but we're never gonna finish these questions, are we?
No,
No.
Right? Yeah, no, we're not. But that's okay.
we
Rashad
can
White.
plow through.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah.
Put it in
If
turbo
when
mode.
it gets down to the end, I'll just answer them all, very fast with one word.
We'll just
Like I
get
do
a
on
thumbs up
Twitter.
if we agree or thumbs down if we don't.
Rashad White in Dynasty, I feel like is kind of on a little bit of an island though, value wise.
Yeah, it's weird with him.
Yeah, because he's not like you're not going to value him like even like maybe he is getting close to Dameon Pierce at this point, but
He's
I'm still
not.
putting
No,
Dameon Pierce.
he's
Well,
not. No.
yeah, I know.
Dameon
That's what
Pierce
I'm
is
saying.
a lot more proven.
No.
That's why I think some people out there are going to be kind of thinking that it's like a rookie running back Kenneth Walker. Oh, look, Brees Hall was awesome. Dameon Pierce, now he's getting a shot. So I think people are going to be thinking like that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not thinking like that myself. But
Yeah.
just temper expectations.
Yeah, I would definitely temper.
The Bucks rushing offense does not look good this year. One of the worst in the NFL, in fact.
No, it's been a disaster. It's been an absolute disaster.
So just temper expectations. Stock is going up because he's going to be on the field a lot.
Yep. That's it.
All right, here. Rondale Moore, sell high in Dynasty or hold?
Such a great question.
Such a great question, and we really don't know. It's a question of talent versus too many mouths to feed. Man, I lean to, well, depends on what is high.
Let's say in early second, late first.
Late first, I take.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Late first, I take.
Josh, we can't hear you.
I would okay. What Tyler said was perfect, but I would value him very similarly to Christian Kirk. Maybe I know Christian Kirk has proven a lot more, but Rondale Moore is younger and has got more upside. So I think a late first is kind of perfect, and we were kind of talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I think it's going to be for Rondale Moore. It's really about, does he get that opportunity to be that established number 2 wide receiver? Does he get that opportunity? Because right now, with Marquise Brown in the fold, with DeAndre Hopkins in the fold, that's not there. Like, that's just not there for him. And then potentially, maybe if Trey McBride starts to show something with Zach Ertz now, probably look, Zach Ertz we've talked about him. He's older. He's past that cliff. If Trey McBride starts to show something, maybe he gets more involved. Then Rondale Moore loses that opportunity again. Maybe if DeAndre Hopkins eventually retires and maybe the Cardinals add a wide receiver,
or they trade DeAndre Hopkins. I talked about that yesterday.
Or they trade DeAndre Hopkins. I feel like Rondale Moore, it's always going to be about, does he get the opportunity to be a number 2 wide receiver? And with how this Cardinals offense is setting up, I don't know if that's ever going to happen for him. So with how he's performed the last 3 weeks, if you can get a first for him, I think that's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I would take the first for sure.
Because if he gets the opportunity, like he's shown, it's going to be good. He's going to be good for fantasy. But does he always get that opportunity? I doubt it.
Yeah.
I really think he's going to be like a Joshua Palmer type guy where he just he comes in when other guys are hurt or when there's less opportunities, and he shows out. And then when the starters come back, he's kind of set in the back.
I think he's a little bit different than Joshua Palmer simply because he's got such a specific skill set.
Yes, not saying skill set wise, but saying how when you look at their fantasy performances, not skill set.
I will say, I think Joshua Palmer
himself
needs to be one of the top 2 wide receivers skill-wise in his offense. Rondale Moore, he's a slot receiver. There, especially with Arizona, they want to just get him the ball and let him work. So that in itself, I do think it makes me nervous because what if Cliff Kingsbury isn't the coach? Rondale Moore has to be with a specific offense to be that. I agree, but I think Rondale Moore has to be with a very specific offense to be.
I'm taking a mid-late second pretty easy. The first is way too high, but
I don't think the thing is I don't think I'd sell him for a second because he's a talented wide receiver. If the opportunity's there, he's going to crush it. He's shown that if the opportunity's there, he's going to crush it.
I'm fine. I mean, we'll see. I need to get a good player, or
I would not sell for a second round value.
I wouldn't either.
No second, not even an early second.
If it's
don't think
very early, I might. Super flex.
Because I might consider it, but I like Rondale Moore. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens.
I want to see what happens. Yeah, I want to see what happens.
But because those are famous last words.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's always
he is kind of in that
down the Jeremy Hill
players to me where I just don't
see what happens.
I don't see the high end range of outcomes as really being in there. So
because he's a smaller guy. He's built to be a slot wide receiver. Him being the number 1 on the team in anywhere in the future is it's almost impossible.
Yeah, no.
That's just not going to happen.
Injuries, I think, would have to happen for that.
Yeah, injuries.
I wouldn't have thought that Amon-Ra was going to be what Amon-Ra is.
That's a good point.
It's a good point.
Rondale Moore's different than Amon-Ra.
They're not the same player, but
no, they're not the same size either.
They're not the same size. But I would
Rondale
say
Moore
that
is small.
Rondale Moore's very short.
He's stocky though. Yeah.
But I would just say that it would not be the first time I've said, well, they don't have the ceiling to be the high end this, and then they are.
I would never have guessed Amon-Ra St. Brown would.
No, I never would have.
What
Not this
I
good.
value him.
Not
right
Yeah, but the
this
now.
thing is,
good.
like, Rondale Moore is 5'7", 180.
I
And
know.
St.
I'm
Brown's
just
6
saying that
foot
we could
over
be
200
wrong again.
pounds.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's different.
He's shown talent, so
Yeah.
even though it
yeah.
feels like it's not possible, since he's
It
shown
is. It's
talent, there is a
definitely possible.
possibility that we're
There's
wrong.
very small
That's why I don't
possibility.
have him valued that low.
Yeah, that's why I won't sell him for anything less than a first.
Well,
'Cause
yeah,
there
I'd
is-
take any first easily without a second thought. Any first.
Oh yes, I would.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
but
not
when
even
you get
close.
to the second round, it's not. I'm not. I would keep Rondale.
Yeah. Okay.
It sounds like he's a sell high.
To me, I would lean that way if I had to choose. If I had to choose
Yes,
between
if
the
you had to
choices,
choose-
I
if
would
had to
say
choose
he's a
that
sell
way. I
high.
would try to go high. Yes, I think there's more doubts. I think there's more doubts and concerns and question marks, and I think those outweigh the benefits for him and the upside.
Your shirt matches your bed so well, Ryan. Just wanted
Yeah,
Well, at least your bed is
You
made
blend in
today,
very well.
Ryan.
Blending in.
I don't think my bed. Hold on, I have to look. I'm literally in my bed.
Careful.
Like my bed is right in front of me.
Yeah, be
my
careful.
bed. My bed's never made.
Oh yeah, it's not.
Darren, wherever he is, used to give me the hard time about the bed.
Yeah, I mean, once you get to the ripe old age of 30, you never make your bed, right?
I think
Yeah,
that's when
I
you're
think
supposed to
that's
start
fine
making your bed,
anymore.
right? Like I don't know.
I never make my bed. I don't know.
The only time I ever make my bed.
My
is when
bed's up
people
there.
are coming over, and
This is
sometimes
my
I
bedroom,
forget.
but I have a loft up there. My bed is upstairs. You know, it's around the corner here.
Whoa.
Oh,
that's cool.
fancy.
Yeah, I have the smallest bedroom in the entire universe. I can't believe I fit a recording studio in here. Like I'm in like this recording studio. I'm in like I don't know, like a 5x8 space. That's what this is it. Like it's my desk and like I can't fit anything else in here.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
that's tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so high.
Like this is tell I for more. Wait, hold on, wait.
And there's the wall.
That's my wall. Yep, that's my chair. It hit the wall. I scooted back on my chair, then hit the wall. All right.
Oh, wow.
All right, but yeah, guys, I think I gotta. I think I do have to hop out at this point.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
do a plug things.
Oh, sure. I mean, you guys can go follow me on Twitter. I'm at HutchinsonB_FF. Check out Hutchinson Brown's Fantasy Football Perspective, my podcast I host. I post episodes Tuesdays and Thursdays.
It's good.
Fantasy football podcasting there. I'm Hutchinson Brown at Hutchinson Brown on TikTok. I post TikTok videos occasionally over there. What else do I do? I mean, I write for DLF, Dynasty League Football, and as how I hinted in a little bit in the show, maybe I'll be on here a little bit more often in the future, which will be fun. And I also make videos for football guys in their YouTube channel. But yeah, that's pretty much all I do. And yeah, I'm just a teenager trying to find my space in the fantasy football world. I've done this for about a year and a half now, and I've had just such an amazing time and can't wait to keep moving forward and try to find a career here.
You're the man, Hutch.
He's
the man.
You got
He
this.
is the man.
He is the man. Follow
Thank
him.
you,
I
guys.
do it all the
Thank
time.
you,
Follow
guys.
him.
Yeah. No, it's tough, man. It's tough figuring it out.
Yeah, the pointing is tough. You never know where to go.
I usually don't go for
I don't even
the
put it
direct
wrong
point.
way.
I like
Also,
figure
the
out my
show's not
spacing
ending.
first.
By
I
the
like touch
way.
my
We
face.
will still get to
the
it.
show's not ending.
Yeah. But yeah,
All
no.
right.
Thanks for coming on, and I will hopefully see you on the show soon.
Peace out.
Yeah. Peace out, guys.
Yeah, no, I think the people on the DLF only audience are not as used to what is very common on our show. People coming into the show in the middle, people leaving the show before
It was a good
starts.
mention. I'm
Right,
glad you
before it
mentioned
ends.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's common on our show because we sometimes
People
have
are
up to
coming in
6
and out,
co-hosts.
yeah.
Typically on this show,
Can't always
it's
make
rare
that 3 hours.
Well, it's rare that Cal, Addison, and it's rare any of us ever leave early. Sometimes, occasionally, one of us is late, but it's not.
One of
that
us is
often.
always late for ours.
Well, we're all always late for ours. But we started. This was close to on time. I was proud of us.
Heck
How
yeah.
do you value? All right, we're gonna go a little bit faster.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm about it.
How do you value
going.
Juju? Are you buying, selling, or keeping? Is Hunt relevant in 2023? So I'll just answer the second part first with a yes, probably, and kind of move on from that because Hunt's not a big dynasty asset. What about Juju, though? That's more interesting. What are your thoughts on Juju?
I'm a Juju fan. I like what he's proved. I know he only has 1 year contract with the Chiefs, and maybe they don't re-up that. But I think throughout his career, he's kind of proven to be, when healthy, a pretty good wide receiver. So it depends where you're getting him, because at his, what he's performed to up until this point, I don't want to pay top 15 wide receiver value for Juju, right? So it depends how your league's kind of valuing him. If people are nervous about Kadarius Toney taking over for this offense, I think when Juju's back, he is the number one for the Chiefs for this season at least. So, if people are worried about Kadarius Toney, I'm buying. If people just want to get out on Juju, so
yeah, I'm in as well. Give
All
me
right.
the second option, and that route tree that he's running is way more complex than Pittsburgh. I have to take every opportunity I can get to trash on Matt Canada. That's for my friends, but they don't know how to work wide receivers over there, and Andy Reid is unlocking Juju to what he was of old. Not Dynasty wide receiver 1 anymore, but he's a good asset in Dynasty.
Yeah. All right. Middle of the pack team. Sell Tyreek and Adams for Kupp, Hollywood, and Dobbs. This is like no, I think you should just sell them separately and not to get Kupp. You can do better.
Yeah.
You can do better. You can do better than that.
Plus, he's not the 101's not in his range of outcomes. It looks like.
Yeah.
It looks like someone's probably.
I still think you can do better value wise than that.
Yeah.
All right. 12 team, 1 QB start 8. I have Burrow and Chase. Would be nuts to trade for Higgins. Also, no, I don't have a problem with that.
That double stack won the playoffs last year.
Yeah, that's true.
1 year league.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Just traded Justin Fields and Breece Hall for Kenneth Walker.
Quarterback. Thank God. I was like,
1
please
QB.
be 1 quarter. I was like, please be 1 quarterback. Please be 1 quarterback.
I'm okay with that if you have no choice, but like, it's not really what I want to do.
It's hefty, but if you win a championship, I'm here for
Yeah,
it.
if you win with it, then
it's a great.
That's
idea.
the whole thing. Like if Breece Hall was healthy, we'd all want him over Kenneth Walker. But right now, their values are pretty even. You're throwing in Justin Fields on top, which I don't love giving, but go win that championship if you got a good quarterback, other quarterback to play. It's got to be a really good one.
Yeah. Need 2 to pick up on waivers. How are any of these guys on waivers? Terry,
Maybe it's
who I, by the way, have it ranked
Vampire League
as
or
a top
whatever.
12 wide receiver this week.
18.
Kadarius Toney, Allen Robinson, Gus Edwards, Devin Singletary, Brown. None of these guys should be on waivers. But
It's Scary Terry.
Scary Terry is an
McLaurin
easy
needs
number 1.
to be out.
And then
Man.
number 2, I think, is still Devin Singletary for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I have him at running back 20 this week. So Devin
Then
Singletary.
it's like Ryan Robinson, then Kadarius.
Really, none of these should
yeah.
be on waivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gus
I think
Edwards
it-
is probably last, honestly, for me. No, it might be. It depends what you need, right? Because I could see someone taking Gus Edwards.
Allen
over
Robinson might be last
and
for
Kadarius
me.
and Kadarius Toney.
I don't really.
Just
Allen
clear your
Robinson's
bench.
Be like Henry and hit that like button. Yes, hit the like button. All right. Put these wide receivers in order, full PPR order, rest of the season. Higgins, Waddle, Tyler Lockett, Godwin, McLaurin.
Ooh.
I'll go Waddle.
Waddle 1. Waddle 1.
Yes.
Waddle.
Then it gets a
Waddle-
little interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Or Chase is still on crutches. So.
I want to say
Waddle,
Godwin.
Higgins.
No, Higgins.
Waddle,
Higgins.
Higgins, Godwin,
McLaurin Lockett. That's where I'm
Lockett,
going.
McLaurin.
I'll go McLaurin Lockett. I'm with
It's
Ryan.
tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't have any issues with Chase and Higgins on the same team. All right. I'm rebuilding, have 3 23 firsts. My wide receiver room is Pittman, Devonta, Christian Watson, Burks, Wandale, Alec Pierce, and Jahan Dotson. I got offered Drake London for a mid 23 first and late 23 second. Should I take it? No, I wouldn't give up picks like that in a rebuild. I'll keep the picks.
Yeah, it's a rebuild.
Yeah. It has to get better for Drake London, though, right? Marcus Mariota is bottom of the barrel. We saw that throw he tried to make where he was rolling over and threw it in the sky. But Drake London's such a good prospect, and he had that hot run at the beginning of the season, but I'll keep the first. You could draft someone just like him, basically, in a better situation. So
it's a rebuild. The value is probably on the pick side, actually, barely. So it's the picks.
Yeah. Hunt and Komet for Juju and Fant. Take Juju and Fant.
I would too. I'd rather have Juju. He's my preferred option out of all these four by far.
it's tough. Depends who you have a tight end, because Komet's been
Yeah, he's a lot better
really
than Fant.
he's been that guy for Justin Fields. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point.
All right, let's keep going. DJ Moore in 223 first for AJ Brown, 23 second and Jalen Warren. I'll take DJ Moore in the 2 firsts
yeah,
pretty easily.
Yeah.
picks
More
are-
value rest of season plus 2023 between Henry and Kamara. Half PPR. I'll take Henry.
Yeah,
Suspension is the most concerning
the
thing
heck?
to me. And half
That's what it
PPR
is.
makes me want Henry more.
Yep, I agree.
Have
Wow,
an
we are
inbox off-
flying, guys.
Yeah,
we
we're
are
going,
flying.
we're going rapid fire now.
we're going rapid fire. We're gonna do this. We got
Have
this.
an
Go.
inbox offer.
Go.
Deontay Johnson for Burks and a 23 mid 4th. Have Burks in rebuilding. Deontay's worth more, but in a rebuild, I'm fine just hanging on to Burks and waiting.
Yeah,
I'm not really
the
looking
rebuild,
to
it makes
trade
sense.
into. Although honestly, in my rankings, I have
Deontay's
Burks
definitely
higher
worth
than
more.
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah,
2023 mid fourth is so weird. Like it's a fourth round pick. Like
I'll take Burks.
yeah.
Kupp or late 23rst. That's not enough. Take Kupp. PPR redraft 10 team. It's okay. It's not Dynasty. Oh, we did this already. We did these Adams trades already. Would you trade Higgins for Kupp? I'm locked for the playoffs, so it would be huge if he comes back. Not taking the risk that Kupp is shut down.
Hell, they're so
He's
bad.
going to miss 4 weeks guaranteed. We don't know. It could be the rest of the season. Can't risk it. I'm going to stick with
I'm
Higgins.
leaning towards him missing the rest of the
That's why I can't
I
do
am
it.
as well.
I can't do it. I can't do it in redraft. I can't.
If they
I
had
can't
like a
risk it.
handful more wins, like
In Dynasty, I can't do it
That's what
either
it
because
is.
Higgins is much younger.
Yeah.
I would say stay hydrated. Yes, I've been trying to do that.
my water's out. Sorry.
Wouldn't it be
boys.
funny if I just like pulled out a bottle of Everclear and started drinking that?
I got a bottle of tequila right here.
Chug. No, please. No, you do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. Who do you prefer, Treylon Burks or late 23 first, 112? I'll take the pick.
The first is definitely got more value.
Take
I
the
want
pick.
to take Burks there. I
don't
just
want Burks.
you know how big of a fan I was of him coming out. We don't have to rehash that.
Yeah, we don't have to rehash. 12-team Superflex, half PPR, Pittman or London. London's just done nothing, so I'll take Pittman.
Pittman.
Yeah,
Especially with
Pittman.
Ryan back in. Ryan Robinson sucks. He is a plotter. He doesn't suck. He's just okay. That's all. He's just okay.
Someone said he made Najee Harris look elusive at college.
That's true. What's up, new faces? To me, anyway. Yeah, that's true. Although, yeah. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, they wouldn't be new faces.
Oh, Gavin, come on.
Contender, would you guys just hold Hopkins and Hollywood for the playoffs? Yes. I mean, Hopkins is old and Hollywood is injured, so yes, I would say just hold them. It took Dosage 2 weeks to become a top 8 Dynasty tight end. That's how tight end is very thin. If you're a surefire contender, I'm okay holding Nuke. Yeah, same. Thoughts on Kyron Williams and redraft? Should I drop Goddard? I mean, Goddard's going to miss time. Kyron Williams is worth nothing. I think you have to hang on to Goddard in case he plays. So I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I might add Kyron Williams for someone else if you have someone else to drop. Depends on who you're dropping him for.
It sounds like he might be your preferred Rams running back.
Yeah.
The managed rest of season. How about
Yeah,
that?
the rest of season he is. For sure.
All right.
Thoughts of trading DK and Kamara for Chase in a late 23 second? I'll take Chase in Dynasty.
Definitely.
Okay. What is Justin Fields worth? I bought him for a late first and Bateman and assume this is super flex. Yeah. Oh, that's excellent. He's worth 2 random first minimum, probably more. You trading away Monty for any mid 23 second? Oh, here's the Ridley truther with the Monty run. I would say I'd rather get a little bit more, but if I'm in a rebuild and it's that or nothing, I might take it.
Agreed.
Goff or Michael Pittman in Superflex? Michael Pittman by a mile. This is not close. Goff is not going to have a job next year. Redraft, who would you prefer rest of season? St. Brown or Higgins? St. Brown. I'll take Amon-Ra. His usage was elite last week.
Both top 10 though.
I've fallen in love with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah. I'll take Amon-Ra. Even if Chase were out the rest of the year, I'd take Amon-Ra. Is Debo worth buying? I have an offer to send Dalvin and a late third for him. I'll take Debo here in Dynasty if I'm choosing. Because Dalvin
I read the
is a
first
dying
part.
asset.
Is Debo worth buying? I was like, no. And I was like, well.
I don't want to buy Debo, but I'd rather have Debo in Dynasty than Dalvin in a late third.
Yeah.
We did this.
And then
already.
maybe try to sell Debo.
This one. Give Carr. Oh, and also, as always, only ask the questions once. We will get to them all. And we go in order anyway. So even if we don't get to them all, it's not going to help to put the same questions later. Unless it's a super chat. Then it'll move to the front of the line. 12 teams, 10 teams Superflex PPR start 10. Give Carr and a 23 mid to late second and Hollywood to get Justin Fields. I'll take Justin Fields here.
Yeah.
Easily, actually. It's not close. Justin Fields by a mile.
Cards might get replaced. We've been talking about that.
Maybe. He'll start somewhere, but it might not be there. Is there any value to drafting, acquiring players from teams on the Eastern time zone? This is looking too much into it. Where can I find your content people that aren't Tyler? It's funny because this is the only piece of content I do for DLF. So on the YouTube channel, anything else is not going to be me. No. It's all very good.
Yes. This.
Yes.
I'm gonna mess up the.
I thought you were saying yes to all the content is very good, and I was like, yes. Promote the content. Whatever. I do agree that they add a pass catching option, either a replacement for Evan Ingram, who's better, or whatever. But I do think they have to add someone.
I don't know.
Wide receiver.
Jones for Waddle. What Jones?
I'm gonna assume Aaron.
Yes. I don't know
Waddle
what
anyway.
Jones this is.
It's Waddle anyway. Yeah. Just trying to think of what other Jones.
I was trying to think. I was like, am I missing a Jones?
What should I do with Kamara? You're stuck with him.
I'm stuck with him.
Hutch, what happened to your Eagles? Well, Hutch is not here to answer.
Still hurts
but
me.
Ryan is here.
You might be able to get Kamara for a first.
Whew. Oh, I'd love a first.
I'm just saying, So you would do that, right?
For a first? Yeah, I want a first.
There you go, Owen. Try to get a first.
We need a time.
We do. Yeah. We do, Carla.
Mid and late seconds for Christian Watson. I think my Christian Watson rank needs to be majorly adjusted because I'll take Christian Watson here. Maybe I'm buying into one game too quickly.
Mid and late, so two seconds for Christian Watson. Yeah, it probably does need to be adjusted because 2 seconds was something. Christian Watson was a second round pick, but I'm gonna take Christian Watson myself.
Me too.
I'm taking Watson. These are around thirds in standard 12 teams, so like, I'll take the shot with Watson.
Yeah. Dudes, sup? Yeah.
Lex.
Should I give Mixon for Kupp and Jeff Wilson? What does that do for you? I mean, yes, Kupp is probably worth more long term. I mean, if you're a contender, I don't know why you would.
Contender, yeah. I guess he thinks
Kupp
that Jeff Wilson does just as good as Mixon, maybe, or close to it, and Kupp.
I can understand why you would. It's risky. The value's on the Kupp side. All right, trade Eckler and give AJ Brown, DJ Moore, and 23 seconds. It's AJ Brown easily.
Yeah,
I don't understand that one. Can you prioritize? This has got to be redraft. Allen Robinson, Christian Watson, Kyron Williams. I would put it Christian Watson, Allen Robinson, then Kyron Williams. Khalil Herbert is an easy drop if you don't have an IR spot. Can't wait 4 weeks for him to come back. Trevor Lawrence, if you have another quarterback, you can drop him also. Would you guys trade your strategy if your playoffs are 3-week sprint for the top 4 teams? How would you play it? Not really in Dynasty now. Lockett and Mostert for Elijah Moore and a 4th. The value's on the Elijah Moore side, but I understand if you don't want to. Yeah. Justin Fields isn't good, but I'll take those rushing yards. I wouldn't say he isn't good. He just hasn't proven he's good at passing the ball yet. I have Tom Brady. Should I stash Deshaun Watson? Or should I pick up, for this week, because Brady's on a bye, should I pick up Daniel Jones or Mariota? Or Russ? I'll definitely take Daniel Jones. Yeah, I have Daniel Jones at quarterback 8 this week against Detroit.
Yeah.
I traded Kyler for Fields in early 23 first. Killed it. Crushed it. Great trade. 12-team PPR, Superflex start 9. What side are you on? Deshaun Watson, Kenneth Walker, early mid first, or Kyler Murray, DK, Judy before injury, or Kelsey? Well, injuries happened.
Yeah, we kind of have to take that into account. Now,
it's the Watson side doesn't matter about the injury. I'd rather have Watson and Kyler are pretty similar. I'd rather have Walker over DK by a lot, and early mid first over the other two things combined. So Watson side.
It's close though, but I'm with you. I in a certain situation, it can be.
Maybe. I don't see it that way. Should I play a late first for Najee? Absolutely not. No. Hell no. As she says, I agree with him. And thank you to the chat for answering some of the questions because I know we fall far behind. So thank you for weighing in. Would you send Fields, Komet, and ETN for Herbert and Devonta Smith, 12-team Superflex?
This is interesting.
I don't think I would. I think I'd keep the field side with ETN. Crazy as that is.
I'd rather have Herbert and Devonta Smith.
So tough, man.
It's close.
This is very close.
It is very close.
It's very close.
Depends how high you are in Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we all
Little
are.
bit.
And Fields.
But you're getting a hell of a package. You know, it's Fields and
Very close.
ETN. So
Any running backs you're trading a top 2 pick in Superflex for? No.
Yeah, no.
Your thoughts about Rachaad White? We talked about that earlier. I think we all like him. We're tempering expectations a little bit. We're not expecting him to be an RB1 because Fournette's not just going to disappear. But I think he'll be playable in the starter moving forward. Josh.
Yeah, sheesh. Such a bad
Josh
sheesh.
is great. I think that Josh.
We talked about a lot of Joshes today, so we can't be sure this is me.
I think you're a future superstar.
Oh, duh.
You're already a superstar.
Duh. Look at me.
Yeah. Well, with that beautiful face, I mean, it's getting the superstardom.
This one?
Yeah. No. This is my show.
Let's go.
I traded Christian Kirk and contending first for Jacobs and Rebuilder second. The values with Kirk and the first, but it's not the worst trade I've ever seen.
Jacobs could win
You
you
need
Jacobs
Jacobs.
here, so
But yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Values with Kirk, though, with the first. Pete and Russ, so I assume that's Peter Howard and Outhouse, shut me down last week. But when you guys look at Javonte as a younger J.K. Dobbins, with both of them destroying half their legs, they disagreed. Okay, so let's start with that. I mean, each player is different. So I don't know. I'm not going to assume that just because J.K. Dobbins didn't come back from the injury means necessarily that Javonte won't. But it's the kind of thing where I'm going to be influenced by what I hear about it as the recovery progresses. Everything we ever heard about J.K. Dobbins was bad. The warning signs were all there. If you waited until you actually heard he wasn't going to play week 1, it was way too late. I could have told you months before that he wasn't going to play week 1. So that's my take, is pay attention to what comes out during the offseason. I can't tell you now. I don't know. So I have him ranked kind of in the middle of the range of outcomes. And we'll see. Yes, this is wild. Rank CeeDee Lamb in Dynasty, I have him wide receiver 5.
He would be my wide receiver 5 as well.
Yeah. Waddle, Chase, Jefferson, AJ Brown. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Same 4 ahead of him.
Not in that order. But
Not in that
not in
order,
that
of course. I was just naming. I was naming.
I know. Yeah.
You're taking Fields versus Atlanta over Lamar versus Carolina with the return of Andrews and Edwards. Is it close? Yes, I'm taking Fields. No, it isn't close. That's the link to my YouTube. And that sub confirmation at the bottom will give you, if you click on this link specifically, it'll give you the option to subscribe right away. The Jefferson catch was better than the OBJ catch. Is there a debate? Not really for me. I think the Jefferson catch was better, and that's coming from a Giants fan.
I think the OBJ catch was better, but I thought the Jefferson catch,
The Jefferson catch was on fourth down. It was more critical.
So he didn't maintain the ball in his hand throughout, and that's weird how it that matters for me. That's fine. I disagree with me. I don't care.
Yeah. What would you say Tua is worth in terms of picks and a super flex? Oh, he's worth at least 2 first, probably more. T. Higgins or Drake London?
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins, for sure. For Higgins, you're not in the minority. You're in the
No.
majority. We answered this already. Ryan,
Heck
you are
yeah. Gavin's the man. The retainer's paying off, dude.
yeah.
You got a good smile, man.
Hey, thanks, man. So
Oh,
right back at you,
Hodge.
Yeah.
Grade my 2 trades I just completed. Warren to get Fryermuth. We got it going down. I'd prefer Fryermuth over Warren. Singletary to get Rondale with Kupp going down. I prefer Rondale. Good job.
Yeah.
Shallow. This was a trade we were doing earlier. What value could I get for A-Rob? Oh, if you can get any second for A-Rob, just take it. I think A-Rob is
right.
washed.
That's where I think it is. Mid-second,
A
maybe.
washed player. I have him
Maybe
ranked at wide receiver 32 this week. A washed player can be wide receiver 32 in a week. You can be washed and still do that. But I think A-Rob is washed. So I would take any second and move on.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Darrell Henderson? Nothing. He's just bad. Nothing is wrong with him. He's just always been bad. That's your answer. Trade Bills defense and Singletary for Geno, DK, and the KC defense. Oh, I take DK. Especially with Geno. It's an easy one. BZ get out. Well, I think it's because you should get out and accept the trade right now.
Yeah, that's
How
what I
about
think
that?
he's saying.
This was all the conversation about the snow. Put a dome. Yeah, billionaires can't build a retractable roof. I don't
They're-
get that.
The new stadium plans have roofs over like just the bleachers.
Good.
Not the
Oh,
field.
not so good.
Not the field. Not just
That makes
part
no
of the
sense
stadium.
to me. You can grow grass inside. For the record.
Don't the Raiders do it outside, or is it the Cardinals?
Well, if you have a roof, you can grow grass. You can have indoor grass. It's 2022. You can grow grass indoors. You don't have to have a turf field just because it's indoors.
Your other running backs being Swift and Cook are D-Hop is more valuable, but
In redraft, I'd rather have Nuke for the rest of the season over Pierce.
no, I would too, but
Mhm.
are you going to be starting Swift and Cook every week? You know?
Cook, you can start.
Obviously,
Cook
Cook
and
you can
Swift,
start.
but-
I hope it's Dalvin Cook, but
Better be.
If it's
yeah.
James Cook, we have problems
James
here.
Cook. It is Nuke, but it's close.
Yeah.
I have
it's
Terrace
only
Marshall.
close because of the running back situation.
Yeah. I have Terrace Marshall used as a flex, looking to replace him. On waivers, Landry, Slayton, Van Jefferson, or Nico Collins, pick one. Well, for this week only, I have Slayton ranked the highest. He has a good matchup. I have him at wide receiver 33. So I have him the highest this week. If we're looking the rest of the season, Nico Collins, I feel like, has the most upside here. I have him at
I
only
agree
40
there.
this week, but he's starting to take over for Brandon Cooks. It could complete it. I just don't love the matchup. I mean,
I
versus
think
Washington.
Slayton overall is the safest pick for the rest of the season, even.
No, I think that Wandale Robinson should get more involved. Whereas Nico, like, I think Slayton is. I don't think Slayton's gonna get more involved than he's already been. Whereas Nico Collins could continue to
That's fine.
progress.
Yeah, no, I
think-
agree. Nico Collins has the most upside.
Yeah.
And no doubt about
Well,
it.
not really. I mean, none of these have a lot of upside. But I would say
But Nico Collins could be the easy number
I
one.
think
for
Nico
the team.
Collins is the most likely to be
Dan Jefferson
somewhat
has
relevant
upside,
for the
I
rest
guess,
of the
you know?
year.
Maybe
Whereas
the Rams
Slayton, I think, was a flash in the pan.
go out of
mostly.
their way to make Van Jefferson a primary focus of their offense.
mean,
So he has upside, you know?
Landry
I
was
don't-
relevant.
Landry is
Yeah.
not the pick.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's for me, it's
Jameis
pretty
might be
clear.
returning,
It's
so.
Collins, Slayton, Landry, and Jefferson last. Jefferson is totally irrelevant.
I don't know. I'd rather have Van Jefferson than
I would
Landry, I
not.
think.
I
Just
would
for the
not
upside.
Yeah.
because if they go back to Jameis Winston, I actually think Landry has a chance
That's fair.
more than Van Jefferson, who I think is a waste of time. 10-team Superflex start 10. CMC and Moore for Higgins, Ridley, and a first. I will take the Higgins side. Yes. Okay, same question. Bryce Young or CJ Stroud?
Bryce Young.
Close to me.
It's so freaking close. I've been saying Bryce Young like all
I'll go with
season.
Bryce
Young.
I gotta
Just 'cause
keep
he's
saying
a-
Bryce Young, even though I think
Exactly.
CJ
He's a
Stroud
pick
might
factor.
be a higher draft.
Let's see what
pick at this
happens.
point.
Let's see what happens.
There's a lot to go, but I think
they're
Bryce
both
Young
gonna
has
go top
something CJ
5.
Stroud doesn't. I can't put it in
Yeah.
words though.
Yeah.
Levis
Lamb
has
has the
Levis
same
the
num-
tools.
Lamb has the same numbers for 3 years, except this year he has the target share. that he didn't in the past too. I don't know if I want to say CeeDee Lamb's overrated.
He's been so like. What are you complaining about this season? He's been so good
Until this
Even
week,
with
he was
a
really
bad
disappointing
quarterback.
again. And then this week, now if you look at
He's
his
been
year numbers,
consistent.
if you look at his year numbers now, you're happier with them. But before this week, they weren't that different. Let's see what he does the rest of the season. If it's more like this last week, then I'll be happy with him. If it reverts back to what it was, then I won't be so
This
happy.
last week was fantastic. He was the wide receiver 1.
Does Treylon Burks stink? I'd say not yet. I still believe in him to a degree, but
Rookie, dealt with a lot of injuries, just in a bad passing game right now. You got to give him some more time before you say he stinks.
I do have him ranked higher. Like I said, I have him ranked higher in Dynasty, and maybe this is a mistake, than Deontay Johnson. I'm just totally done with Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson to me is a fallen star.
Wow.
Hate to see
I
it.
would have Deontay Johnson ahead, but
I don't see it with
blame
Deontay
you.
Johnson. I think we've seen that an offense that runs through Deontay Johnson is a bad offense. I think we finally learned that he's getting a lot of volume, but not succeeding. The offense is bad running through him. He's not efficient and never has been.
Bad, period.
Yeah, but it was bad always. And he is not good. In himself,
He
he's not
is good. He's very good. He's a
he's
very,
not super
very,
efficient
very
with the
good wide
volume he's
receiver.
getting. He's good at getting open, but he doesn't really do anything.
And he makes some awesome catches. No, he is a very
Overrated.
good wide receiver.
Overrated. Overrated.
I don't think he's overrated because
he's
not
so overrated.
I'm in the
no
middle.
one talks
I'm in
about
the middle
Deontay
of this.
Johnson. No
He's
one talks about
overrated.
Deontay Johnson being an elite wide receiver.
I've
He's
turned
not
on Deontay
overrated.
Johnson.
You really have.
Deontay Johnson, for me, is
He's
someone
even looked
who,
good this year.
I think it's the kind of thing, though, that once George Pickens is going to take over that number 1 role, and it's going to be over.
And I understand that concern.
George Pickens just looks so much better than Deontay Johnson.
He's stuck there too. It's not like he's getting
Deontay Johnson has had more than 63 receiving yards in one game this year. One.
How many has George Pickens had? I mean, like, how many?
I know,
has the
but George
whole
Pickens
offense
is a
had?
rookie. George Pickens is a rookie.
Let's just look at the Najee Harris. The whole. It's all
2
gross.
games, by the way. 2 games. George Pickens
all
has had more than
gross.
that.
It's all gross.
I know.
Is the regression
I
ever
just-
going to hit?
I just think that you're going to see a time where George Pickens just takes over completely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely in the range
Deontay
of
Johnson, 5.4 yards per target is embarrassing. It's really bad.
It's always been there for Pickens. On the college tape, it's just the injury. So that's all it was.
And,
just kinda-
some other
I'm
concerns.
Until you
starting
add some other
to-
things.
It's
I'm
all
starting to move away from Deontay Johnson.
That's fine. That's fine. Hey, look, there's a Deontay Johnson question coming up.
CMC sharing targets, production going down, getting old. Yeah, I mean, he's losing his value. Should I trade Mixon and Deontay Johnson for ATN and T Higgins? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It only makes sense if it's
I do
redraft.
agree with that.
And I'd still take ETN and T Higgins. If it's Dynasty, it's easy. Should I trade away Brees Hall and Amon Ra for Devontae Adams and Jalen Waddle? Well, I mean, if it's redraft, it makes no sense. So it's that. Oh, it is Dynasty. It's Brees Hall easily then. Yeah, Devontae Adams is not worth much compared to these other things. So Brees Hall side. Pierce is like Pittsburgh running back. I don't know if I would make that comparison. Fields are 324 first. This is tough.
Ugh, don't make me decide.
It's brutal because it's just not my style
The 3 first are more
to
valuable
invest
than Fields
in
by
3,
himself.
even though it's 2024. If I had 324 first, I can't bring myself to do this. It's a big risk. But if I had Fields, is that really enough? 3 first a year from now? I mean, not really.
I don't know. It's tempting because, like we said, we're going to start shifting our focus to that class, and there's quarterbacks at the top that could make this worth it.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Brady loves his vets. Yeah, Julio looked decent this week. Eno to Houston means Damian has little to no chance. No chance. That's so not true. Eno is not going to matter to whether they take a running back in the third or not.
I
That's
disagree
he's irrelevant.
strongly.
Kenneth Walker's going to be running behind. Yeah, no, that's why I like him. Sell Rondale Moore. Yeah. Trade AJ Waddle or Hopkins for ETN in redraft. I mean, in redraft, I might trade any
It's
of
got
them.
to be a
for ETN.
redraft question, right?
I might trade any of them for ETN, but I'd rather move Hopkins of those because when Hollywood Brown comes back, I think Hopkins will be the worst of these three.
I agree.
Would you trade Hollywood for Rondale on 23-2? No, I wouldn't. I'd keep Hollywood. 12 teams, start 12, Superflex, tight end, premium, PPR. Give Kupp, get Amon-Ra and Keenan Allen. It doesn't matter what you are. I'll take Amon-Ra.
Yeah. Amon-Ra by himself.
Who's giving a first for Rondale? I don't think anybody. Santa Claus, maybe. Palmer's a Chris route runner. Moore has Twitch. I don't know what that means. 2023 draft very slim at wide receiver. I don't.
That can be debated. We'll debate that in the offseason. It looks really
Kadarius
good.
Toney greater than Rondale. No, I have Rondale ranked higher. They could bring in other wide receivers, so we don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Including re-signing either one of those guys.
Yeah, we'll see. What's Kelsey worth in a tight end premium superflex league? Kelsey doesn't have a value. His sell and buy value are like miles apart. So he's a hold. He's never moved.
It completely depends on if you're competing or not competing. If you're not competing, I'll take a first for him, honestly.
Yeah. Took over an orphan team, lots of young talent. Team is 8 out of 12, no 24, 25 picks. That's tough. 123 first, second, third. How would you proceed or rebuild? That's so vague. Like I don't sign up for my Patreon.
Like you don't want to trade away your young talent.
Yeah, I don't.
Like there's
That's
no
so vague. Like if you have Damian Pierce, obviously I'd put him on the block, but that's really the only.
That's about it.
I don't know if that's Alec Pierce, but if it's Damian Pierce, I would put him on the block. But yeah, generally vague, super vague questions like that are tough on a live show. Who are some of your favorite playoff running backs to buy? Well, unfortunately, it was Breece Hall, but maybe Michael Carter with the Breece Hall schedule.
David Montgomery now.
David Montgomery, yeah.
Got to keep bringing him up one more time.
Yeah. Okay. Looking for concepts or theories on how to turn a team with little draft capital into a contender. Yeah, sell your players to get more draft capital. It's usually
The revolving door.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go for it.
Churn the
Go
waiver
for
wire
it.
and churn them into third round picks, that kind of thing. 8-team, yeah, I don't know what this is in relation to. All right. Geno in a mid-second for Ridley in an early third, 12-team superflex. I'll take the Geno side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the argument for the Ridley side, though.
I could see the argument, but I'll take the Geno side.
If you want to compete next year and have those other quarterbacks, like, sure.
Yeah. Need running backs, have an offer for Debo or Pollard. I'll take Debo. Vodka keeps me hydrated. False. Rebuilding. What can I look for in my return for Brian Robinson? I'll take a second.
Taking any second?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should I trade Mike Williams for Jimmy G? I'd keep Mike Williams.
Yep.
Thanks for helping me out on Twitter today. No problem. Higbee, Njoku, McBride, or Knox in redraft is easily Higbee. With Kupp out. Higbee got a massively increased target share. It's Higbee easily.
It's Higbee easily, and then Njoku, and then the other two.
I'm in a small rebuild and offered 23 first for Kmet and 23 second. Yeah, take it and run. Just accept it now. Accept the 23 first.
I like how he says it'll leave me with Mark Andrews.
Yeah, leave me with Mark Andrews. So bad. So suffering. You're suffering with Mark Andrews and Dulcich. Suffering.
Yeah.
Take the first.
I like the wording there. Just take it and run.
Did I offer Godwin and Gibson from Mark Andrews in a redraft? That is a little pricey. I'd lean toward Andrews, but it's fair.
I think
Fair.
Andrews
To
has
answer the last part, it's
most
fair.
overall
Yeah, I'd say
value.
it's fair.
To answer the first part, should I offer? Always just try. Like,
But I'd say it's pretty fair. It's not a big win. Running backs are hard to find, but you
I
can't
would
really replace
want to
Andrews.
have some good wide receivers if I was doing this
Yeah.
trade, but if I did, I absolutely would.
Is Foreman a sell now guy? Been really good, but is it sustainable? PPR redraft. I think for the rest of the year, you can probably mostly count on it, but long term, I don't buy it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're selling at top 15 running back value, I'll sell.
Yeah. Would you trade JT Lockett and David Montgomery for Kenneth Walker, Pollard, and Rondale Moore? If this is Dynasty, I'll take the Kenneth Walker side.
Oh. JT
Pollard's
and
got to get a
Campbell
starting
the
job.
same.
Come on, Jerry, set him free.
This is a really close trade.
It's
in my
close. I'll take the
opinion.
Kenneth Walker side though. I want Rondale Moore.
Yeah. I think he's probably the second most
Depends
valuable.
on the situation.
This week,
Pollard.
DPJ, Gallup, or Tony. I have Tony the highest this week because I don't think Juju's going to play. I have Tony at wide receiver 31. So I'm going to play Tony.
I agree, especially if Juju doesn't play.
Oh, Craig. Hey, Craig is number 1 in Scott
Hey.
Fish, or number 3. He's up there.
Really?
It's up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Badass.
So congrats on that, Craig. Are you buying into Pacheco in Dynasty? No. Would you look to acquire in a rebuild? No. No, I don't look to acquire 7th round running backs in a rebuild. No.
Yeah, he looks solid, but no, Miss
He
Anderson.
looks just okay to me. The fact that he
He looks
better
like
than
the
Clyde,
best
he
Chiefs
looks-
running back.
right, which means that they need another running back.
Yeah.
The Raiders bringing grass. Okay, so that's an option. You can bring
That's
grass
the
to
team
grow
that does
outside.
it. Yeah, they grow it outside by the training field. Yeah. Okay.
Elijah Moore dynasty value. Keep the faith long term. He's not droppable. We answered this already. Should I trade Godwin and Aaron Jones for CMC? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna keep Godwin and Aaron Jones.
I
gonna keep
keep
the two
thinking
players.
this is redraft, so I'm shaking my head yes for redraft.
I'm still gonna say no.
I
In
think in
redraft, I'm still
redraft,
gonna
it
say no.
makes it
CMC's not what he
easier
was.
a little bit.
He's not the league
I
winner
know,
he
but
was. I'll keep the two players.
It's close.
I
Yeah.
can't buy in that pack.
Aaron Jones has been better
I'll
as
take
of
the two
late.
players.
I know, but I can't
Yeah,
buy
either
in
way,
Yeah,
in
I'll
redraft
take
or
the two players.
dynasty, I'm gonna take the two players.
Dynasty, I'm taking Godwin and running, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take the two players either way. I have Tom Brady picks up Deshaun Watson. Okay, we need a player for this week. You can have Tannehill, Wilson, or Pickett, or I could trade Mike Williams for Jimmy G. Well, Jimmy G is the best option this week, but I don't want to give up Mike Williams for him. So if these are my options, I have Tannehill at 21, Pickett at 19, and Zach Wilson at 26. So I'm going to go with Pickett of those options. I don't know if CD is overrated, but as a Cowboys fan, he shouldn't be a wide receiver 1. I think he's good enough to be a wide receiver 1 for a team. I think he's fine. I don't think they need a wide receiver ahead of him. I think that what they need is Michael Gallup has not looked good this year. I think they need a real 2 and to re-sign Schultz. They overpaid Michael Gallup. They should have just kept Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just about
they
to
did.
say
Given
that was-
how not good Michael Gallup has looked and how good Amari Cooper has looked this year, they should have
was that the worst trade of the offseason?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish this up. So, Kellen Moore to head coach. I think it's good to claim Jalen Warren and drop Chuba Hubbard. Yes, it is. I'll take Jalen Warren over Chuba Hubbard easily.
I
Oh,
agree.
this is funny.
Yeah.
1 QB dynasty. Deontay Johnson or a late 23 first. 9 to 12.
Deontay.
Deontay.
I would think Deontay.
Well-
I thought Tyler was going to go the other way.
Well,
What are you going to get at that pick?
I'll
at
take the
this
pick.
rate?
I changed my mind. I'll take the pick.
Oh,
I
okay.
figured it seemed like it was going to go that way.
Yeah, I'll take the pick. Great show. Thanks for all the hard work. You're welcome. I appreciate everyone who's watched. It's actually been despite the fact that I've been feeling like shit, this has been one of our longer shows recently.
Feels like
Thanks,
Mondays.
guys. Nice to meet you. Well, yeah, those shows are way longer.
Appreciate you, Gab.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome. And I'm glad you got to meet my co-host from my other show. Sky Moore, Rondale
Definitely
Moore.
Rondale.
Not close. Rondale Moore by a lot. Sky Moore's a bust. He's third. Oh, okay. No problem. Love you, Craig. Godwin for Jamar Chase straight up, or should I add I assume that's Rondale Moore or Curtis Samuel?
Oh
I'll put
man,
Jamar Chase.
in redraft.
He's still on the crutches. Today, as of today, he was still on crutches.
If you need wins right now, I don't know if I could do it.
if
Yeah,
you're locked in
it's
though, with
risky.
one of those like
It's risky. You don't know if he's going to come back. I think I'd have
I know,
to. keep
but
him.
like if you're one of those 6 or 7 win teams, like right now, you can make this move and potentially just put you over the top.
Well, okay, but let's answer the second part. If you're choosing between Rondale and Curtis, I'll take Rondale.
Oh yeah, me too.
Did I think Waddle needed a wide receiver ahead of him though in regards to CeeDee Lamb? So it's the kind of thing where like, no,
Waddle
did
was
it and it
awesome
worked.
last year.
they did it and
Like,
it worked.
yeah.
So yeah, they could do that, but there has to be a wide receiver of Tyreek Hill's caliber available.
which doesn't really happen every year.
Doesn't happen
it
that often.
happened a lot this last offseason.
Last offseason it did, but that was
I don't know if anyone's
it was
available
awesome.
like that.
It was awesome.
We did this one already. I know they tried to trade for Brandon Cooks. Should I trade DK Pitts and Jeff Wilson for Nuke? No. No matter, obviously in Dynasty, no. In Redraft, still no. DK is worth a little bit less than Nuke, but Jeff Wilson is looking like a low end RB1, high end RB2.
I'm not
Nuke-
there yet. I'm still saying.
But he looks like to me
lower end RB.
Whatever it is, it
2.
doesn't matter. It's still.
But yeah, you're right. You're right.
Thoughts on Rondale Moore now that Ertz is out? This week I have Rondale Moore at wide receiver 21, so I'm good playing him. Start Saints defense. I have him at defense 11 this week. They're not inspired.
Going against the Rams.
Yeah, but
Could
I'm
put
not
out Wolford
inspired.
again. No Kupp.
It's gonna be Stafford.
Yeah.
That's
I've
assuming
seen
it's
worse.
Stafford. If it were Wolford, they would be higher than 11. Who would you stream this week? Tannehill, Mariota, or Pickett? I actually have Mariota the highest against Chicago.
Yeah.
He's going to run enough. They literally gave Deontay an extension. So, sorry about that. They did.
Trade for him, though.
Yeah, they could. And CeeDee Lamb is better than Deontay Johnson.
Listen. Yep. I was just
been
talking
better than
a lot.
Deontay Johnson
Hyping up
this
Deontay
year.
Johnson. CeeDee Lamb.
No. CeeDee Lamb is
would
far
be the
better
wide
than
receiver
Deontay
one,
Johnson.
and
He's
that's
been better than
you know,
Deontay Johnson this year.
I think they could pair kind of nicely together.
I don't think that's a
Makes
bad
sense.
idea, but reverse those things. CeeDee Lamb would be the wide receiver.
I agree.
Yeah. And then last one, we did this already. You get Amon-Ra. Yeah. Amon-Ra side easily. It's risky.
We think he's
It's
out.
risky with Cooper
I
Kupp.
think we're
I
all
think he
kind of
could
leaning
come
towards
back.
We're rolling that
Like,
bandwagon.
if they're
Yeah.
3-10, is he going to come back? I don't know.
Hell no.
We don't know. Should I?
He
upgrade
could. He
quarterback?
could. But
Yes. If you have these are your quarterbacks, your quarterback is very bad. And yeah, no, the Cowboys miss him already. Thoughts about Kyron Williams? I don't mind him. But
he's got upside.
Perfectly
just because
described.
could be better than the other running backs the Rams have doesn't mean that he's good. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone. Appreciate all the extra co-hosts for coming on this week. Last minute. I appreciate everyone who was in the chat. I appreciate the audience, and I'll be back here next week. I think Addison will be here. Hopefully, if he gets his computer fixed, Cal might be here too. I think he's sick. He might be feeling better. And then Hutch may be on some future shows as well. So I will appreciate everyone for watching. I love Ask DLF. Thank you. Thanks, Rick. And I will see you all soon. Peace.
Peace.